Okay, I think I'm live. Mic on. Cam on. All right, here we go. So, welcome to the stream. Good morning, Grace, on your adventure out in California. VP streaming constantly still. I'm loving the VP streams. Like, I love the 20 some hour streams constantly. I did see the Jedi stream yesterday. I wasn't able to make it into their chat. And then of course Bethadone released a bunch of interesting videos yesterday. Was there anything else? I don't think I checked in on Savvy Guy or Tony Yeoman. I did check in with Vinny Slugga. He posted a bunch of phone calls and going to the library with his dad. So, Vinny Slugga pouring out the content. For today, though, I thought we would do a one-shot. Yesterday, I do apologize. I forgot to put my overlay and stuff on. So, we'll try OVW again next Tuesday. We'll pick up where we left off at. But for today, I just wanted to do like a one-shot and test out my little TV overlay and see if we could watch the World Wrestling Council from 1988, A Hot Night in Bayamon. So this is a self-contained show. We're not watching like the studio version. This is like a full event. The card looks pretty good, honestly. Jimmy Valiant opens it up against Rufus R. Jones. ATF Media will be like completely overjoyed to know that Hands of Stone Ronnie Garvin is on the card, which is pretty spectacular. But anyway, let's not waste any more time. Let's get right into it here. Let's join the Batten twins and Hugo Savinovich and begin this incredible journey to Puerto Rico.
Be able to come out here and bring these matches to the people. You know, it's a great pleasure for us to come out here with you in sponsorship with E&G Productions, Capital Sports Promotion. We got some great matches coming at the people, and I think they're really going to be surprised. They're going to be entertained. But the biggest thing is that fire match.
Well, talking about some of the big stars.
I tell you, that it was a great night at Hot Night.
What's up, ATF Media? I saw that, and I was like, no way Ronnie Garvin is on this card. ATF Media is going to lose it.
In Bayamon, Hugo. You had Samoans there, Jimmy Valiant, Dangerous Dan Spivey, Wahoo McDaniel, plus all the local World Wrestling Council wrestlers, Carlos Colon, Hercules Ayala, us, Ricky Santana, Rufus Jones. Tell you, it was a great night.
And it was a hot night, and believe me, the main event features a fire match. Hercules Ayala against Carlos Colon, and I know all the wrestlers were out of the dressing room looking at it. It was one of the best nights in professional wrestling. It was a great place to be on that given night.
That's right, Hugo. You know, these people out there are going to get a chance to sit down in their homes and see a fire match, and I don't think they've ever seen anything quite like this, and I'm sure after it's over with, you'll never see anything like it again because only the World Wrestling Council could bring you a match like this.
Well, some comments on the World Tag Team match with the New Zealand Sheepherders.
The main event is a fire match, too. I didn't watch it, but I wanted to make sure that there was actually fire. I didn't want us to sit through 2 hours and not get the fire. So, but the fire is there for sure. What's up, Steve Benningfield? Yeah, the Batten twins. What's up, Jeremy?
That's right. You know, that was a big test
I'm
for us
hyped,
that
man.
night. That
A lot
hot
of
night
big
in
names on
Bayamon.
this card.
We got a chance to defend our
From
belts
the
against
era,
the
of
New
course.
Zealand Sheepherders, the Los Pastores. And you know, brother, it was a tough match. Bart and I, we trained hard. We were ready for the match, and we're enjoying bringing it to you on this tape.
Well, not only that, great things are about to happen right here. We're going to take you
Hugo
immediately
Savinovich
to our
from
first
the
match. It's
Spanish
getting
announce
hot.
table.
A hot night in Bayamon.
Baimon, Jimmy Valiant, and Rufus R. Jones versus the Wild Samoans. Miller again.
Here we go. Tag team action. Hot Saturday night in Bayamon. And there he is. The Boogeyman already doing his thing here.
I tell you, Hugo, you know, you got to really appreciate the Boogie Woogie Man as the individual that he is. Super nice individual. And I think the referee just found out he got a good night hello kiss from the Boogie Man himself, Jimmy Valiant. And how else can you start a hot night out in Bayamon with a kiss on the old lips?
Oh, there they are.
Yeah, that's right, Barton. Never let it be said that Rufus R. Jones, who's a great friend of ours, would never hesitate to maybe plant one on your kiss or two just to show his appreciation.
Well, we're talking about a pair
What a
here.
what a
Rufus
what a
the
tag
King
team.
Jones and the Boogie Woogie Man, Jimmy Valiant.
Tell you what, Ugo, you know, what a combination to get two guys like the Boogie Woogie Man and the Freight Train himself together in a tag team match against probably one of the biggest, toughest teams in the sport of professional wrestling, and that's the Wild Samoans. You can look at the screen right there and tell what big guys they are.
Alpha and Sika, the legendary Wild Samoans, over 14 times world tag team champions.
What a matchup.
You know, Ugo, on paper, this is a really good match. It's a great match to be brought to the people right now. Because, you know, the Samoans are really unpredictable, and it takes a pair like Boogie Woogie and Rufus, because they're really unpredictable, to take on a pair of guys like this.
And here we go, some rope housing right now. The style of Rufus and Boogie Woogie Man stopping right from the beginning. The Wild Samoans, who usually attack their opponents, not this time.
I think they beat them to the punch, Ugo. You know, you got the shake and the bake and the rock and the roll and everything going right now, and it's all going against the Samoans, and I think they're a little bit surprised by the aggression shown right off the bat from Rufus and Boogie.
Rufus all over Sika, while the Boogie Man was taking care of Alpha. They're booking down right now.
They sure are, Rufus, or Ugo. They are Rufus and Valiant. What a great team they are. I think years ago, maybe when they were up in Charlotte area wrestling up there, I think they teamed together a couple of times.
Many times.
Yes, and they were a great tag team. So really, this is a reunion of sorts here on a hot night in Bayamon.
And it's the World Wrestling Council Superstars, the best wrestling.
I'll tell you what, Ugo, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Capital Sports Promotion and E&G Productions. That's Fast Eddie, buddy. Thanks a lot for giving us an opportunity to sit down and look at these matches and bring them to the people in their homes.
What's up,
I'm the one that's happy. I usually got to deal with people that are always arguing, like Bobby Joggers or Chicky Star is always upset. This is a night off for me. I'm going to enjoy the matches, and I'm in good company because you guys are peaceful, nice, moderate, tremendous wrestlers, of course, but I'm not going to have a good time today.
Yeah, I tell you, we appreciate that, Ugo, and it's really a pleasure for us to be in your presence, too, because your reputation precedes itself, and it's an honor and a pleasure, and we're really looking forward to bringing these great matches to the people out there with you sitting right beside us.
And we could certainly verify that this is the World Wrestling Council Superstars, the best wrestling around the world, and now it's the Boogeyman and Alpha in the center of the ring. You could difference Alpha and Sika because Sika's got the lighter hair. Other than that, boy, we're talking about some crazy.
What do you think about this as the opening match? Like back in the day, I guess they didn't really have the philosophy like a lot of companies do now of throwing out like a really, like I'm sure the crowd also would just respond to probably like a babyface win here as big as they would for like a fast-paced match. I don't know. It's just a lot different.
Right there.
And they look a lot alike, too, and I can appreciate that. I know my brother can, too, because we look an awful lot alike ourselves, so we can appreciate.
I love in the Carolinas whenever he would just like, or in Mid-Atlantic, and he just like he'd like dance down to the ring and like spin around in the ring and then continue to dance while beating the guy up and like not miss a beat, win the match, and then just dance out, making all those crazy-ass sounds. Hoo, ha, hoo, 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 ha. Sounds like a Tony Yeoman.
The little strategy or the little advantage that it gives you when you're a tag team.
Talking about strategy, did we just see kind of an illegal move by?
He's still wrestling, or he was still teaching, I think, fairly recently. I saw him in a movie, WrestleManiac.
That's right, Ugo. You know, the fans down here can appreciate the strategy there, but the Boogie Woogie Man just trying to get on top of the Samoan right there. I'll tell you, he just laid the other Samoan out right there on the apron, Brand. Went over and just cold-cocked him, but that's the Boogie style. He's taking care of business in the ring like he knows how to do.
Off in a lot of pain, and now the referee is trying to keep the action going here, and wait till Rufus hits the ring. You think Jimmy is crazy. Whoa!
Whoa. I tell you, that those are two big heads going together right there, and it knocked one Samoan off the apron there, Ugo. I mean, those are two big guys that just got their heads thrown together.
The Boogeyman all over Alpha. Face first into the turnbuckle, and here comes Rufus.
Well, there's a meeting of two hard minds right there.
Hey, ATF Media, do you remember he had like a female valet for a while? Do you remember what they called her? I can't remember. It's like my brain is folding itself trying to remember.
Ugo, the Samoan's got a hard head, and everybody knows Rufus Jones' head's just as hard, if not harder.
Okay, Rufus doing his thing, the king. He is something else in the ring. A lot of movement, and he is all over Sika. Here comes Alpha.
Big Mama.
And he gets hit.
All
Double
right.
shots.
I tell you what, Rufus, there he is going at both these guys. You know, Rufus had a little amateur boxing background before he got into
kept thinking,
sport
like, is it the
professional
Boogie
wrestling.
Woogie
Right there,
Babe?
he's
What
just
was
doing
the
his
fuck was her
shake and
name?
bake routine.
The Big
He's got
Mama.
pork chops. He's got spare ribs flying all over the place. He's the king of professional wrestling, no doubt
Do you know
about it.
that actually when he goes
He just say that Rufus R. Jones has spare ribs going all over the ring.
to the gym to lift weight, that's part of his routine when he's working out. You're right. Well, even when he's doing some jogging, he's doing that.
There's no question about that. His arms are always moving, and I hate to keep repeating myself, shaking and baking, because that's what I refer to it when Rufus is in there doing his thing.
You know, it looks like the Samoa's trying to beg off for a little mercy here, Ugo. I think he's had just about enough of Rufus for the time.
What an
They have
opening
been hit
match.
hard. And we are talking about two top wrestlers in tag team competition, the Wild Samoans, undefeated for many years.
Just grab
and
a
Rufus and
headlock.
Jimmy, like we pointed out, they teamed up many years around the NWA area, Charlotte. And they did great, defeated a lot of the top teams. Let's see what happens here in this hot Saturday night.
Well, there's Rufus Jones
Man, he's got
doing
them
his
trunks
little
pulled up
boogaloo
high,
right
doesn't he?
there, getting out
Oh,
of that
my
side
Lord.
headlock held by the Samoans. And, of course, there's a Samoan complaining that he thinks Rufus Jones has some oily substance on his hair. And, of course, we all know that that's not true.
You're exactly right, Bart. The Samoa seems to be pressing his point.
Greasy
Wants
hair.
the referee to go check his hair, but he's not getting any satisfaction there.
You know what, Ugo? I just sitting here wondering, watching Rufus and the Samoans and Boogie Valiant, just how many years of wrestling experience do you think's in that ring right now?
A lot of the years, and they held almost all prestigious titles
Is he
in single
twerking?
competition.
That's right, and Samoans were world tag team champions at one time, I believe, up in the WWF.
Hey, there's
Yes.
Rufus Jones again, getting out of that side headlock over with the big high 10s.
He's
of
got
the
the
Boogie
soul
Woogie
glow
man.
in
I
his
tell you
hair.
what, so far it's been all Boogie and the freight train.
A little bit of a conference here. The Wild Samoans in the corner.
Hey,
So
Glocks and
far, they
Grippers.
have not been able to stop the freight train and the boogeyman
Well,
in this hot Saturday night.
There's the old Fast Eddie there,
Hot
Ugo.
s-
I can pick that hat out of a crowd just about anywhere.
Fast Eddie
Oh, yeah.
again.
Where he is always trouble.
A lot of truth to be said about that. Samoan looks like he's getting a little bit of advantage over Rufus there. Tell you can't.
Oh, there's a hot shot.
There's a hot shot here on a hot Saturday night. You can't sell the Samoans short, Ugo. They're
Mean streak by Alpha all
Yes.
over Rufus, but he's fighting back.
All right. Come on, Rufus. Come on, Rufus.
Man,
See
what a
Ugo?
match. I feel
Rufus
like I'm-
Jones. Oh, that was a big. Well, I don't know. It looked like another possible questionable blow there. Ugo. I
Yes,
didn't really
well,
get
to
a
be
shot.
fair, the boogeyman was the first man to use an illegal shot like that, and I think it's payback. And the fans do not appreciate it right now, and it's trouble for Rufus right here. Here we go.
Well, Rufus managed to duck out of that just a little bit, and we got the Samoans in there
What
trying
even
to do a
happened
little
there?
double team tactic there.
He
and,
ducked
had
it, but he
you know,
didn't
you
hit the other
gotta
guy?
count to 5 to get out of a ring in a tag team match, or you should be disqualified. And I tell you, they pushed it to the
Oof.
limit that time. There's Freight Train with the big African suit bone to the jaw.
And he nailed the Samoan, but the tag is made here.
And
Here comes
the
Jimmy.
Boogie Man.
Whoa!
Oh, right there. The
Oh,
Boogie
yes,
Man
that's-
in the ring, going crazy. He's got the
Uncle
Samoan
Ronnie,
boys.
he's
We've
coming
seen
up on the
Rufus
card.
Jones take
I'm
enough
excited
punishment,
to see the
and he's
match.
tired of the tactics of the
Oh,
Samoans.
people
and
throwing
he's
shit
getting to
already.
them right now, Ugo.
He is all over the Samoan here. Referee's counting here. Jimmy.
Is this Fast Eddie down here who they're talking about? This guy's like getting really bent out of shape.
Not listening to the referee.
Ugo, do you think the Samoan style's been a little, or the style of Rufus and Boogie Woogie is
Who put
confused the
more
Samoans a little bit here?
Very wild style of Jimmy and Rufus. I don't think the Samoans ever expected to find this kind of attitude
Boogie Woogie
from
Man.
Rufus and the Boogeyman.
I'll tell you what, the Boogie Woogie Man can brawl with the best of them, Ugo. We've seen him go from pillar to post too many times. When he has to have something done, if he has to take care of something in the ring, in this case it's the Samoans, he does whatever he has to do it.
Okay.
I should say to keep in mind that this is like an arena show. It's not the TV show, so the pacing and everything is going to be different here than it would be if we watched the TV show. I'm assuming that's the case. It's the case in most of the territories.
Hey,
that
Rufus
I've
all
seen
over
anyway.
now on Sika.
He's
And
looking
the-
out
look
the
at
What's with
people.
the Bob
there.
Armstrong
Looks-
leg wiggle all the time?
Oh,
People really enjoyed that one.
we're
Ugo.
talking about a mean streak tonight here. Rufus, you know, something happens on anniversaries of the capital sports. We see a lot of strange things happening. And Rufus, a mean streak on him on Saturday night here.
Hey, Samoan right there for karate thrust to the throat. Obviously, the referee didn't see that. I guarantee you that'll slow you down anytime. Here's the other Samoan coming in the ring, and they're getting a little double team action on the freight train, and Rufus needs to get a tag over there to Boogie.
Check those shots. Look at the punches coming in on Rufus.
Rufus is taking a lot of punishment right there.
A lot of beer sponsored mats, and now it's especially interesting because WWE was like the one that put it on there the least, although they did do some for the big pay-per-views, but like the constant advertisements on the mat now are kind of bothersome.
There, the referee's busy with Jimmy Valiant.
Do you think it's because they're actually like in the ring instead of being like on the apron? Like if it was just said Prime on the outside, it wouldn't be as big of a deal.
Trying to get him back in the corner, and they're really getting some damage done.
And Rufus now suffering a lot of pain. And when the Samoans get going, not too many teams are able to stop them because they are mean and they don't get tired.
Well, you can just see the tactic right there, Hugo. You got the Samoan distracting the referee so his partner in the corner can do a damage. You know, when you get in a situation like this in a tag team match, it's 2 against 1, and there was a vicious blow once again from the Samoan, but Rufus can't go anywhere because you got one holding him and the other guy beating him.
Took all air out of the body of Rufus.
The Samoans are really starting to roll now, Hugo. Getting their double teaming in and breaking rules as only they can.
Big thumb to the throat right
Hey,
there.
what's up? It's me.
Rufus in a lot of trouble right now.
Rufus!
All right.
One good shot by Rufus. He stopped off out there for a little while. Now he's coming back.
There he goes, 20 legs. There's a tag to Jimmy Valiant. He needed that, Hugo.
This match is awful. To me, it is anyway.
Oh, lover. The Samoan, here comes the other one. Jimmy, it's all over.
Oh, he's taking
he might get the referee feels to move out
Certainly
of the
when
way.
the Iron
He's going
Sheik
crazy
comes
right now.
out,
The Boogie
things will
Woogie Man.
pick
Bam,
up.
there's 2 big Samoans. That's a big collision right there, and the Boogie Woogie Man is rocking and rolling right
things
now.
are hot in Bayamon tonight.
Down goes Alpha. He goes for the cover.
2. Oh, there's the other Samoan making a save.
I was hoping it would be over there.
You gotta do that.
Look out. This is going to be trouble. 4 men in the ring. And the referee's not going to be able to control this one.
Oh, there's a big headbutt by the freight train, Rufus Jones. That's put down a lot of men. There he is once again going after Samoan.
Referee trying to push Rufus out, giving the advantage to the Samoans here.
It's hard to restore order in a match like this. Oh, they got both.
Over the top.
That's a top rope right there.
Oh, there we go. DQ.
Disqualification. Automatic rules
I'm going to rate that match 1 star. I didn't care for that match too much.
in the World Wrestling Council. And desperation move on the part of the Wild Samoans as they were overpowered from the beginning by the team of Jimmy, the Boogie Woogie Man, Valiant, and Rufus. The King Jones and the Wild Samoans are not happy about this. Nevertheless,
they're going wild.
The winners are Jimmy, the Boogie Woogie Man, and Rufus R. Jones, and the party has just begun. It is hot Saturday night in Bayamon. Let's take it out to the next match.
Our second match is really a battle that's going to really decide a conflict, probably one of the biggest, hottest rivalries going in the World Wrestling Council at this particular time for the Puerto Rican Heavyweight Championship. Ricky Santana against Mr. Pogo. And
Mr. Pogo. Oh my gosh, wow.
Oh, you know, that's right, Bart. It's like you say, they've been battling all over the island, and it came down to this night, anniversary, 1988, here in a hot night in Bayamon, to decide once and for all who was going to be the...
You stuck on old school OVW? Man, I feel that. There's just so much, there's so much stuff that I want to watch. I get, super, choice locked sometimes. That's why I put them on, specific days. That way it's just, automatic. I don't even have to think about it.
Puerto Rican Heavyweight Championship.
Well, Pogo's manager, El Profe, had claimed that Ricky Santana was not a worthy champion, and on the night of the anniversary 88, that there will be a new crowning of a new champion, and they have gone at it even before the referee was ready to do the check-in on both opponents.
Well, it's obvious, Hugo. Ricky Santana is incensed and was incensed by those comments made by El Profi saying he's not a worthy champion. And he's letting that Latin blood boil right now, and he's showing just exactly what he's made of. Look at him going recklessly after Mr. Pogo. He's not going to finish until he's got everything done that he wants to do to this guy.
He is all over Mr. Pogo.
I think Mr. Pogo was caught a little bit off guard, too. Hugo, there's Ricky going for a big body slam on Mr. Pogo. Ricky's just totally incensed at this stage of the game. He wants to damage Mr. Pogo. Oh, what a vicious move that was. Mr. Pogo doesn't know whether he's coming or going.
Hey,
a lot of hate involved here. Not only the prestige of the championship, but it's a personal feud between Santana and Pogo. And this is the night, the anniversary 88 hot Saturday night.
A good job at trying to get the job, I guess.
And Ricky Santana wants to prove to all the fans here,
look at these
and all the
lines
fans
in his
that will
hair.
be watching this all over the
Hey,
world,
get your hands
who
off
is
the-
the
oh
real
my God,
champion
look at
of the
Mr. Pogo.
Puerto Rican island.
Well, right now, Ricky Santana is trying to be held back a little bit by Ricky Vargas, the referee. He's having a hard time doing it because he
Mr.
wants
Pogo is
Pogo bad. And I
gassed
guarantee you,
after 30
Profi
seconds.
is not happy with this situation right now.
Okay, here Ricky must be careful at all times because of the expertise of Pogo in the martial arts and that ever deadly cobra.
And he just got him right there.
This is Puerto Rico, the World Wrestling Council. It's an arena show. It's like an all, like, you know what I mean? It's like all one arena show, like the complete
There was
card.
a big vicious chop that came out of nowhere right to Santana's throat. It's like Mr. Pogo got a little bit of wise counseling on the outside of the ring there from El Profi, Hugo. I think that was a smart move.
How hard does Pogo hit? You've been in the ring with this man. You know that.
Yep.
Tell you what, Hugo, we wrestled Mr. Pogo a lot of times all through our travels out in Kansas City, the Midwest. And then we came down here to Puerto Rico. We managed to beat him and Kendo Nagasaki to win the World Wrestling Council World Tag Team titles when we first came to this great island. But I tell you, his kicks are definitely the type of kicks that can do a lot of damage because he knows where to kick you and he knows how to kick you. And really, having to go out and wrestle this guy is not a fun time.
There's no mercy towards his opponents. I could tell you that much.
You know, that's just
like
the way it
this,
is in the World Wrestling Council, Hugo. This
I
is
like
one
this
of the
ring
toughest.
setup.
And look at that. He threw him right there in the barricade
is
around
88.
the people right there. Like I was saying, World Wrestling Council, you got to be at your best at all times because this is one of the toughest places in the world to try to get a championship and even just get out in the ring and
There's
wrestle.
like the big
Pogo,
wooden
for a few seconds had the
step-ups
championship
around
in
the
his
ring.
hands. Maybe he's a little bit overconfident here. This could be trouble for him because Santana is not a quitter. And like you said before, his Latin blood. And Pogo, okay, here we go. Santana.
He's turning tables on him again right here.
Ruptured
Hey, this is
testicle
exactly what
incoming.
you have to do, Hugo. When you got a guy like Mr. Pogo, because he likes to take it outside the ring. He likes to try to do his damage outside the ring. And there, Ricky Santana just wrapped that leg around that turnbuckle post, and I guarantee you, it does the knee absolutely no good.
How does it feel when you are in the dressing room getting ready for this hot night in Bayamon? What was that? What was your
I've been wanting to watch some of the older WWC stuff. I didn't know were still doing shows. Shit. How old is WWC then? When were they founded? They got to be one of the older promotions now.
experience on that given night?
Well, I tell you, Hugo, you know, to be a part of this great...
Or is it like NWA where it's past, you know, it doesn't carry the weight anymore?
Great night was one of the biggest moments in our career, and as we'll see later on in the tape, we wrestled the Sheepherders that night, and we were just...
Do wrestlers feel nervous prior to
we were nervous.
a big confrontation like this?
Yeah, we were nervous. You're always going to be nervous when you go out there, and particularly that night for us, and here with Ricky against Pogo, it's for a championship. And, you know, that's on the line. There's a lot of money involved, a lot of prestige involved, and you just got to dig down in yourself and come up with what it takes. And in our
70s.
case, for both of us, to go out there and do what you can do and win.
It comes around once a year, and it's called
Amber.
the Hot Night in Puerto Rico, this time in Bayamon, anniversary 1988, and it was a great night.
Tell you what, right now, Ricky Santana is just going to town on Mr. Pogo. He was pounding him with his fist, throwing the head into the turnbuckle, and there's a shot into the opposite turnbuckle. Pogo moved out of the way.
Chin first into the top turnbuckle.
I tell you, he
Chin
didn't expect
first.
that at all, Hugo. Ricky Santana's in a lot of trouble right now. Look at Pogo. He's still a little weary after that beating he just took, but I guarantee he's got a lot of stamina, and now he sees his opportunity to really do some damage on
Gorilla
Ricky.
Monsoon
And I
bought
know
in?
Pogo well enough that he will take advantage of that.
Well, Ricky Santana taking a big gamble, and Pogo now. He misses the shot
right there.
Oh, beautiful move here.
Turn around, referee.
Oh, I think Profe.
How strong is the connection between like the old school version of it and where it is now? Is it like is it still in the family?
Distracting the referee a little bit here. Might have saved.
Or connected to the old
could have
version
been
somehow.
2 more seconds on that attempted pinfall by Santana. The champion in trouble, and Pogo, as the time progresses in the match, he tends to get meaner and meaner.
That's the advantage of having a manager out there on the outside of the ring, too. You were absolutely right. He really had him down for 3 seconds. The referee, there, he's really laid him in now. And the referee was distracted by the manager, and that's definitely an advantage.
Plus, he's always picking on racial comments, always insulting Santana's roots, and that has to kind of distract you when you hear a boss.
I think I've only seen Pogo in death matches, if I remember.
And Prophet would do that. I mean, he will do whatever he has to do to make one of his wrestlers win a match, especially this Puerto Rican heavyweight title match.
That's right. When everything's on the line, Ugo, you got to give a little credit where credit is due.
Okay, they were like the bullfighters, right, in WWE.
Way of thinking whatsoever, but he has to do. There's a big spin kick, and I can guarantee you, Ricky Santana is seeing stars right now because that spin kick is definitely in the jaw area. And I tell you, I can speak from experience. He chipped 4 of my teeth one time with that spin kick.
Wow. Well, a lot of new young wrestlers that are trying to make a name for themselves in the world of professional wrestling will have some tough times with Pogo if they face him, because he loves to get the new guys in professional wrestling and destroy them, break their bones, their necks. I mean, he is mean.
You don't sell Pogo short, Ugo. He's a ruthless competitor, and he goes out there and does what he feels he has to do to win a match. Even if you don't agree with his methods or not, I think the results speak for itself. And he does love to get young, inexperienced wrestlers out there and try to show them a little bit of what he's made of. And usually that ends up, like you say, with hospitalization.
Okay, an Oriental nerve ball here,
them.
well applied.
Well, you can see the psychology here, the strategy of Pogo is very easy to see, Ugo. He's worn Ricky Santana down with the karate kicks and the karate thrusts, and when he's got him weak and in bad shape.
I remember feeling like the Mattel figures of him were like such a ripoff because it was just the same figure like twice.
Like he does now, he puts on that nerve hold, and what that does is not only intensify the pain,
they were like incredibly
kind of takes
similar.
a little bit of oxygen out of you too.
Well, the champion in a lot of difficulties here as a challenger has paralyzed him.
He's coming up now, Ugo, Ricky Santana.
What about the fan support?
Ricky's got the
That's him, Rush Limbaugh.
support of the fans. You can hear him in the background there getting behind him. But Ricky was in the best shape maybe of his career and was really up for this match at Hot Night, Saturday night in September,
Southern
anniversary
Joe Rogan.
88 in Bayamon. And he was ready.
Big
that
shot
came out of nowhere.
Pogo caught him as he was coming in. Vicious karate thrust.
Hey,
chop
he kicked
in.
out, though. Let me
Santana's lucky to be able to kick out on that one.
I tell you what, you got to give credit
Hey, Jamie, could you bring up that video of Mr. Pogo?
to him. Oh, yeah, he was definitely,
Where
he
he's
could have just
fighting,
laid there if he
Santana.
wanted to, Ugo, and let the count of 3. But Ricky Santana's got too much pride, and he's not going to go down as easily as Mr. Pogo thought he was going to, and I think it's a credit to Ricky Santana.
Well, Pogo all over Santana. His manager, the
people are
professor,
throwing shit.
happy outside the ring.
Yeah, Prophet loves it when his men are out there beating you up and getting you down. And it's like you say, he's constantly racially slurring you. Oh, Pogo's going to the middle rope here. Oh!
Possibly racial slurring you.
Hey, I don't.
And we all know how much that hurt.
I
that
think
hurts.
that might have raised Mr. Pogo's voice up a couple octaves, don't you, Ugo?
He'll be singing soprano after that one.
Men out there in the
He could have probably had sang an opera right there.
Exactly. I think we can all relate to how that feels. Ricky Santana was a desperation move to get those knees up, but it looks like he's getting a little bit of life left in him. And now that Latin blood's boiling. He's beating that chest, and when that happened, he's ready to start going to town. And Pogo's trying to run, but he didn't let him get out of the ring.
No running this time as the champion.
Big elbow
attacks.
off the ropes there for Santana. He's going after Mr. Pogo now.
He's all over
laying
Pogo.
those kicks in.
The
That's it,
champion
Ricky.
all over.
Oh,
Pogo.
one count there.
Uh-oh.
He's looking out to people, Ugo. He knows what they want.
Knuckle City right now, courtesy
Fifth
of
City
Santana.
right there.
Who
and,
cares what
target
the
Mr.
fans
Pogo's head,
want?
and that's an awful head, too. Look at him. He's just going
Oh my
crazy,
God,
Ugo.
he's
He's
gonna
going
murder this
berserk.
guy.
He's not going to let Mr. Pogo beat him for that Puerto
It was
Rico.
like
Now
that.
he wants to go after the manager. That could be a mistake.
It was like that. Remember that great movie with Morgan Freeman where he was the principal at the high school and he would like beat up all the kids and lock the doors, and he started carrying the baseball bat and he was like, "They used to call me Crazy Joe. Well, now they can call me Batman." That's what. Then that movie, somebody's like, the kids like are slamming each other's heads on the ground like that. What a great movie.
He has to concentrate on the challenger.
Oh, another big right hand right there. Oh, there's that spin kick again.
It's so dangerous because when you think you got him,
yeah, lean on me. What a film! I have to rewatch that.
Credit Ricky Santana.
Did you see that Profi outside? He thought he had him right there.
Yeah, he thought he had it belt right there.
Oh, tell you, big half power slam right there. I guarantee you, Ugo, that jars your kidneys, your backbone, everything. And here's Pogo up on that second row.
What's up,
All
V
right, he moves
Infuso?
out of the way. Tell you, what a match this has been.
This is wrestling,
a
for sure.
classical encounter of a tremendous, proud champion and a very dangerous challenger that would like to please his manager by becoming the champion in this hot Saturday night in Bayamon.
He couldn't quite get the pinfall there, so he gets him up to the slam.
Ricky signaling for victory, and we all know what's coming up here.
When he puts this on them, they don't get up after
Dangerous
this.
move.
Uh-oh, here we go.
High-risk move all the way. Oh! Tell you what, Ugo, a high-risk move right there. If the guy moves
wait a
all the
minute.
way.
That's a signal for the Cobra.
For the Cobra.
High risk maneuver.
It's spelled
Did
struggle
not
for
pay
this
Ladies and
off.
gentlemen, that's not a... You don't want to be putting
Don't let
that
him
whole...
get it, Ricky. Don't let him get
fight
it,
it, baby.
Come
Fight
on,
it.
Ricky.
And the kids that are watching this at home right now, please do never
You need to
attempt
rewatch
to use any
Oscar
of these
with,
holds
Sylvester
because they
Stallone.
are deadly.
This one is
Okay,
very
that's
dangerous.
it. That's it. Come on, Ricky. So he didn't quite let him get that Cobra. Tell you-
Pogo has been at his best. If Ricky has been in his best shape of his career, we have to give Pogo credit. He's been there.
Tell you what, you got to credit the World Wrestling Council too, Ugo, because
Man,
this
what's
just
this
goes
guy
to
gonna-
show what kind of matches, what kinds of...
Every time a Hugo is like, "Oh, this guy's a really good wrestler. Let's give him some praise." The other guy, the Southern Joe Rogan, is like, "Now I think we ought to give credit to the World Wrestling Council."
matches that go on down here in the World Wrestling Council. Big vertical suplex, and Pogo is not an easy man to suplex.
Okay, he goes for the pinfall there, but not enough for the 3 count.
Both men are fighting with everything they got right now, Ugo. They're down to desperation.
Going for all the marbles.
Up there he goes outside.
Remember he makes all the...
A very dangerous place to be when they'll...
Remember Morgan Freeman makes all the, like, bad kids sing together, and that makes everything better?
Profi's wandering around, Ugo.
Okay, Pogo. Now, waiting for the champion to get back in the ring. Referee is counting. To obtain the championship, you must pin
Mr.
the champion
Provolone.
or make him surrender.
Yeah, both men just giving it their all, and you can tell they're fighting it, giving it
That's
everything
probably
they
has like a
got down to
4K
the last bit
restoration
to win
by
this
now.
match, Ugo.
Look out, Ricky.
Oh,
that's
what
a big
almost like a
tackle.
sumo tackle.
I tell you, you know, Pogo, look at him right now.
He
I
has
think
done
he's-
almost everything
hey,
right.
He thinks he's got it right now because he got Ricky Santana down. Oh, look at that. Flip over the
This
top
could be
rope.
it,
This could
Ugo.
be it. That's it.
Yes.
Tatanka.
Oh, great,
What a
great.
great match, Ugo.
Successful pinfall. The Coliseum here in Bayamon has erupted.
It's
Bullshit.
shaking right
What's
now.
up, Eddie?
Our
Hey,
favorite
Avery.
champion has successfully defeated Pogo in a tough encounter. He still
Wow.
holds the Puerto Rico's heavyweight championship. Look
Oh,
out!
no. Cheap shot time. I tell you, this is a mark of
I
Mr.
need to
Pogo.
road
There he
trip
goes.
to
He's already
Michigan
lost the match.
sometime.
Oh, big
Double
double shot
shot.
coming off the ropes, brother. It's not necessary. Now
How
he's
you doing,
There
Avery?
goes the Cobra. Hey, Ricky was in trouble right there, Ugo.
Oh, this means
Big
trouble
trouble.
here. The match is officially over. Pogo has nothing to lose now because he already lost the match. So he don't have to worry about being disqualified.
Hey, what disgusts me is there's El Profi
Look
sitting
at the
there
manager.
giving direction. They're distracting the referee.
Excuse
and
me,
all
can I
that's
speak
doing
to
is
the
causing
manager?
more harm on Ricky Santana. This is a serious situation right here.
And Santana.
The fans are certainly showing their despicability towards that act, too. They're pelting the ring with everything, Ugo.
Yeah, how-
Unnecessary
what-
right
how
there.
mature are the
Profi, He
fans?
just ought to be fined and thrown out of the ring right there. Ricky Vargas Benitez.
Here come the
Okay,
killer
that's
bees.
where
They're
the
going to
bad
chase
guys into
everybody
the
out.
ring.
Tell you what, Ugo, it's hard to explain to the people that weren't
event
there
off
the
to
feeling
a,
of the hatred right now.
Off
Okay,
to
you
a
were
real
in the
start.
ring. You have faced Pogo before. You know the effects of the Cobra. Yet he left the ring and all that saliva and foam coming out of the mouth
God, what?
of Santana, almost ready to throw up. And you've been
Oh,
there
my
before.
God.
How did it
Oh,
feel to see
no.
one of your buddies, one of your good friends, gone through that? Because when a hold is applied like that, you never
no.
know if it's going to cause
Alka-Seltzer?
permanent injury.
Well, that's the key right there, Ugo. You know, that's a very dangerous hold. And when you see somebody
How come there are 2 Ted DiBiase's in the ring? Never too tired for my lives. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I can't get over the fact that there's 2 Ted DiBiase's in the ring.
In a situation like
the
this,
$1 million men
out of his mouth, is something seriously wrong here. And, you know, it's obvious by the look on our faces right there. We're concerned about it. But, you know, it's just one of those hazards that can...
Remember when Andre choked Jim Duggan and, like, wrapped his strap around? And, like, when he was breathing, he blew out all the snot out of his nose all over his face and beard?
Possibly happen to you every night you step into the ring. Something like this can happen to you, and it's just a feeling that sometimes
gross.
Yeah, that's right, Ugo. And there's Ricky foaming at the mouth from that Cobra being applied unnecessarily by Mr. Pogo. And, you know, we really didn't know what to do because Ricky was really in a bad way. And here they are, they're bringing out the stretchers. And we're just trying to comfort him a little bit. But we were really concerned for his health right there.
Well, to tell the fans what happened afterwards, he was taken into the medical facilities where he was kept under doctor's care for over an hour till finally.
Whoa, look at how they're just jerking him out of the ring.
We're going to take you now to another great match of this hot Saturday night in Bayamon.
I give that match 2 stars. That was better than the first one. Remember when Dundee slapped Lance Russell? Oh my God, what a moment. What an epic moment that was. I miss Bill Dundee. I haven't seen him for 5 days.
Okay, here we go, Hugo. The third match on this great video. We got the New Zealand Sheepherders against the sensational Batten twins, and I can honestly tell you,
here we go, Bushwhackers
really
against the
up
Battens.
for this match.
You know, you're right, Bart. This was one of the biggest matches of our career up to this point. To be in front of this great anniversary crowd for 88 and a hot night in Bayamon against maybe one of the toughest tag teams in the whole world, the New England Sheepherders. We were sky high, Hugo.
New Zealand Sheepherders.
Okay, so hold on. He said New England, right, on that last one? The New England Sheepherders? Hold on, I don't want to go back too far.
Night in Bayamon against maybe one of the toughest tag teams in the whole world, the New England Sheepherders. We were sky high, Hugo.
The New England Sheepherders, that's the
great
fourth.
History and championship.
You have it on VHS? That's awesome.
Were champions in over 34 countries and always represented their country, even though that...
I didn't have like a huge wrestling collection, but I probably had like a couple hundred tapes. I had all of the Attitude Era pay-per-views and Raws all taped with like all the commercials and shit for the Raws, but they all got stolen. Well, probably whoever stole them probably just ended up throwing them away, sadly.
Flag was used on many occasions to injure a lot of opponents. What was the feeling when you knew you were against one of the top teams in professional wrestling? Man, they have defeated a lot of top teams in the world, and not only that, but you know that at any given point, Butch or Luke Williams could do something to permanently hurt you.
Well, Hugo, I'm glad you brought that up because I'd like to know and ask you a question. Why does a promotion bring in a team like the New Zealand Sheepherders to wrestle the sensational Batten twins when everybody knows what kind of reputation the Sheepherders had? We had to put our titles on the line. There were a lot of other teams that could have and should have got a title shot, but yet the promotion decided to bring these 2 animals in here to come after us. I don't understand that.
Well, it could be that the fact that you have defeated so many top teams that they wanted to show the people how great the World Wrestling Council champions are, and when you face the Sheepherders, you are against the best.
That's right, Hugo. I agree with you, and I hate to disagree with my brother. But
wait a minute. You hate
during
to disagree
yeah,
with
that
who?
makes sense.
With my brother, I disagree with his
That's
point
when
of
I
view
got
right
really
there.
into
I think
Cornette's
I agree with you.
podcast.
This was a great test for us. I mean, the people know what the New Zealand Sheepherders stand for. They know what to expect when they see the New England Sheepherders in the ring. And, you know, that just comes with the territory, Bart, and you know that. So, really, I think this was a great test for us because we could show the people of the whole world right here that we are as good as any tag team anywhere by beating these guys.
I'm a little bit confused because I thought that the twins always think alike and they got the same taste for everything.
Hugo, let me tell you something right now. These guys, as far as I'm concerned, were a hit squad brought in by somebody, probably somebody in the promotion. I don't know. Maybe they thought that we were getting a little bit better than they wanted us to be. I don't know what the situation was, but as far as I'm concerned, deep
Batten
down
twin
underlying
commentary.
conspiracy. Regardless of what Brad says, regardless of what you say, there's more to this than the meets the eye.
Oh, my goodness. These are serious accusations here. And I have to stop here a second to let the fans know that we are not responsible for the comments that were just made here. Maybe you should identify the name on one of the Battens so we know who just said that, because you guys...
I want to watch some of the fan cams on here sometime.
Looks alike. I don't know who's who here.
Well, right now, Ugo, I'm not going to register that comment right there. It's
go.
Bart that said it. But here were the Sheepherders. They finally attacked us when we came in the ring. There's the big high five. The sensational Batten twins, the crazy train of professional wrestling are doing what they do best, regardless of the hit people that the promotion brought in.
Well, Bart, you do have to admit that even you might call them hit people, but I'm telling you, they're top caliber competition. And what we did right there is we just outsmarted them right there. I mean, these guys are smart guys.
I agree with you. If you are the best, you have to wrestle with the best.
And this is Brad talking now.
I'm not saying this isn't, they're not a great team. Don't get me wrong here. Everybody knows they're a great team. I don't think you guys understand where I'm coming from. Why this particular team? Why not bring in somebody else that don't have the reputation of brawling like these guys? I mean, that's what I don't.
I didn't mind them too much I didn't mind the commentary too much up to this point. Like, having the people commentate on their own match and, like, just glazing themselves like this when they're baby faces, right? I'm assuming that the Batten twins are supposed to be baby faces here.
Understand.
Yeah, well, that's like getting a quick escapade from the top teams. I think just like in professional football where division leaders play each other on playoffs and in Super Bowls, I think holding the world tag titles signify that you have to fight or wrestle the #1 challengers. And here is Luke Williams getting some tremendous shots here.
Tell you, we were really psyched up for this match right there. And really,
who's in the ring right now?
It's me in the ring, Ugo. Bart.
This is Brad on this end here, and all I want to say is, you know, here they got Bart there. That was sneaky right there. But Bart, you know, this was a big night for not only us, but for the World Wrestling Council Anniversary 88. And what a better team could they have put us against than the Sheepherders from New Zealand to show the people of the world that this is where it's all happening.
Well, you know, Brad, again, I got to disagree with you and Ugo. You know, everybody I remember that clothesline right there because that nearly took my head off and came out of nowhere. But, you know, I'm not saying these guys aren't a great team. I'm saying we should be considered a good team, too. And why should we be tested with a team like that when there's other teams out there that would like a shot at those belts?
I'm confused here. I always thought twins think alike, they dress alike, and I don't know what's going on here. Anyway, let's get back to the action here as the Tank has been confused here. Who's in the ring right now?
That's me again, Ugo, just slipping and sliding and drop kicking, and the Sheepherders. And there's those two big noggins together right there. And I'll tell you what, we had them going right there. I don't think the people expected this from the sensational Batten twins. I don't think the promotion expected this from the sensational Batten twins.
Oh, man, I
but
can't
just
wait
goes
for
to
Ronnie
show you
Garvin.
that we're as
So
good
hyped.
as we think we are.
And Bart, I don't know about that. I just know that they brought a team like this down here for this particular night. I think they had confidence in us that we could beat these guys. World Wrestling Council doesn't want to represent.
Remember when Dorinda
like
got mad at the
Los
clown for
Pastores
touching
have
him?
their world tag team belts. They want somebody like us, and that's exactly what the point was, to have us sign a match with these guys to prove that we are the best.
And we always invite all the wrestlers from all the other alliances, including the NWA, AWA, and the WWF to participate. If you think you're good,
Ugo,
well,
I think you're influencing my brother. I don't appreciate it at all, buddy.
Oh my God.
Ugo, I wouldn't worry about that.
My ulcer is starting to act up a little bit here.
I wouldn't get too upset over it, Ugo. I mean, you know, we have a difference of opinion here, but one thing we do
we're
agree
having a good
on.
time here. Now,
Yeah.
now I'm in the middle of, I don't know. Well, let's talk about the match right here. World Tag Team titles on the line, hot Saturday night, and this is crazy. Luke Williams. Who's in the ring right now with Luke Williams?
Well, that's Brad, Ugo. And, you know, there they go to their tactics, the eye gouging, the eye ripping. Oh,
Ripping.
Good move right there. Leapfrog. Knee to the midsection. I mean, you know.
So you took a knee from him, and then you were able to counterattack with the same maneuver. Good
There's
drop
a big
kick.
drop kick right there. I tell you, Ugo, I think this was a showcase.
Man, I tell you, Ugo,
There's a lot of people out there that didn't think we could do what we're doing right now on this screen in everybody's homes with the big fat guy sitting there drinking a beer. He's watching exactly what the sensational Batten twins are made of.
Wait a minute. We should not talk like that because there are good people watching us right now, and I don't think, you know, I'm kind of taking it personal because I got a kind of a beer belly myself, you know?
Well, Hugo, if the shoe fits, wear it. I'm going to have to, and this is Brad speaking now, I have to, you know, I can't disagree with what my brother's saying because we are showing the people right here that we are as good as any tag team in the world today.
Oh, my God, I don't understand this.
Well,
I don't
I'll tell you right
understand
now,
this.
for the New Zealand Sheepherders right now, Hugo, getting back to the match, have really got things going right now. Oh, there went for the big headbutt. We moved out of the way, and there's the drop
We moved out of the way.
I guarantee he wasn't expecting that. The Sheepherders are back outside the ring. We're celebrating. We're fired up, and this was a big night for the sensational Batten twins, regardless of what kind of scandal or controversy you or the promotion wanted to throw at us.
Well, I'm not involved in any conspiracy or anything. We just want to show the people around the world the best wrestling. And right now we have witnessed already a tough match here, and it's getting even hotter and better.
It's getting
Anyway,
even
here
hotter.
we go. Good move by the Batten twins, double teaming on the Sheepherders. They're using the same strategy as the Sheepherders have done throughout all those years where they held so many championships.
That's right, Hugo. You know, we studied a lot of film and saw a lot of tapes and matches of the Sheepherders before we came out to this night to wrestle these guys. So we knew pretty much what was going on with them and how they would wrestle in a match and the tactics they would use. Where they, on the other hand, I don't think there's that much tape out on us, on our wrestling strategy.
Oh, are you kidding? There's plenty of tapes on you guys.
Well, I don't think these guys saw them because I think we had them off guard. We were really fired up for this match, and you know, we were really psyched up, and here we are. We're going after them again. Oh, look at that.
From the floor there,
I remember that.
Butch Miller grabbing one of the boots of the Batten twins, and now Luke Williams, the crazy one, all over one of the Batten twins.
I tell you what, Hugo, these guys are vicious, they're tenacious, they're rough, they're tough, they're brawlers, they're street fighters. Look at that, using the belt, our belt that we had on the line right there to try to do some extra damage on us. I mean, these guys are obviously,
hey, what's up,
they're
Almighty
obviously
OMD?
5 cards short of a full deck.
Did you see the Batten twin doing that awful sell where it looks like they're like humping the ring mat?
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no question about it.
But there again, Bart, you know, this is a good chance for us to prove to everybody that we are
the Batten
just as
twins
tough and just
commentating
as
on
rough
this match.
as these guys are, and it was a good test for us.
Why do we have to put our, excuse me, Hugo, why do we have to put our life on the line with these guys? Why can't we
there's
wrestle?
a big top
Well,
rope
you are
there.
professional wrestlers. You are one of the top teams in the world. You currently have recovered the World Tag Team belts, and you should know that this is it. This is the big leagues of professional wrestling. Illegal tactics by Butch Miller, the Tank, using the belt again on the back of the head of one of the Batten twins, and the fans are really upset about it.
I'll tell you, not as upset as I was, Hugo. I'm the one sitting there getting my head beat in by the belt.
Oh, did you see? Are you seeing this? Pay close attention to the security guards. Wow, dude's carrying a giant billy club.
I'm getting thrown into a table. That ring was up on some kind of platform about foot off the floor.
Man, that was
I fell
cool
over
as hell.
that. I've got knees. I've got everything else. Why do I
The
have to
hump
do
cell.
that?
I hate the hump cell. It's so weird.
Because we did that to make sure that everybody in the arena was able to see all the action.
I think Hogan does it especially like egregiously because he like slides along the mat a little bit as he does it, so it makes it even weirder.
Because this is Hot Saturday Night, once a year, every year in Puerto Rico.
Well, you know, I don't, as far as what the people want to go at this particular stage of the game, Hugo, I'm not that concerned about that. I'm concerned about our...
Wait a minute, Bart. Listen to these people out here. They're behind us the whole time. I think sometimes they feel the pain we feel, and they can relate to what's going on with us in there. I mean, we're family, and most everybody out there is family, and they're with us all the way.
Look at all the cheap shots there. Why should I have to go through that? Why should you have to go through that? The people are so open-minded and so resentful.
Yeah, I think so, and I think that's why they built that plywood thing around the ring, which I think is actually kind of cool. But I think that, yeah, because if you move the, it looks tall even with the wood shit there.
Or not resentful, so respectful of our talent.
Or is it sitting on the wood?
Well,
I do that.
They were complaining to the referee because you were getting hurt there.
Yeah, well, then what's the referee doing, Hugo?
I thought it was just a thing that went around the around it like a step, but maybe it's sitting up on it.
Oh, look at him.
Well, Salas Corrente, the referee, was having a lot
What's
of
up, Randy?
trouble trying to control this. Two crazy wrestlers from New Zealand.
Well, there's Fast Eddie. He could have, you know, Eddie, hey, you could have helped me right there, get me back into the ring.
Well, that's illegal. You should not have any help from other people.
Oh, then it's legal for him to throw me outside the ring and hit me in the head with the belt?
No, it's not. This sounds to me like a deja vu here. I'm starting to feel like I'm back with Bobby Jaggers here. What's happening, guys?
Wow.
I'm one of your buddies.
Well, what's happening is I just had a sunset flip on one of the Sheepherders, and I had him pinned, and the referee's over there not doing what he's supposed to be doing, and he wasn't counting the guy, and we had him right there, at least for a while. Now they're going back to beat me up again, Ugo.
And they do what they do best, double team.
Hi,
They make those quick tacks, and look at that knee. The specialty of the house. Butch.
On Fridays, we watch Memphis, Almighty OMD, and the Sheepherders have shown up there, but so far it's been, I think, Jonathan Boyd, and I think Luke Williams came in once or twice, but they haven't quite, I don't think, this iteration of the Sheepherders. Well, I think they wrestled at a regular show, but they didn't wrestle on the TV show, I don't think.
Miller.
You can tell by my reaction on the apron there, Ugo, that I think
usually watch old WCW. I would too. It's just really hard to watch on. It's hard to live stream WCW.
So at this stage of the match, I was really concerned for Bar. I mean, but after taking a lot of punishment.
Did you think you were going to be able to retain the titles at this point in the match?
Tell you, you really can't be out there.
Well, what's your opinion on that?
What's my opinion? That I was never in doubt that we would.
What about your brother?
I keep hearing both Batten twins as if Disco Inferno was on commentary with Hugo Savinovich.
Oh, Ugo, let me tell you, when we step in that ring, there's never any shred of doubt in our mind that the outcome is going to be our hands getting raised. Now, granted, this was a very tough match, and there's a big forearm onto my chest that I felt real bad. But see, now we're starting to use the tactics that they use, and it just goes to show you that we're going to do whatever we have to do to win. That's why I never get concerned about losing the belt. That's things that maybe you should worry about.
Well, okay, fans, having some different opinions here.
I'm on your side, Ugo.
Yeah, well, thanks a lot.
Well, see Ugo there.
If you've never heard it or you haven't heard it in a while, the fantasy booker with Glenn Gilberti, Disco Inferno, is free right now on the Best of Kayfabe commentary vault. Amazing shoot interviews. Some of the lowest levels of self-awareness I think I've ever seen.
We have never seen two twins in action.
True,
and
Randy.
then also narrate the matches, so this is very confusing for me.
Well, look at this New Zealand Sheepherder right now, Ugo. I'm going to get to the match. You guys can talk about whatever you want to talk about, but I'm going to be respectful to the people that bought this video, and I'm going to describe the action that's going on in the ring. It's a rear chin lock, almost a sleeper type of a hold, but still it's a type of hold that wears you down, and that's exactly what they're trying to do to me right now.
What's the way to try to escape from this hold?
Well, you just got to reach down inside your guts. And if you know what I'm talking about, there's that special feeling that never say die.
He goes through the entire process of his character, the evil architect, Bill Ding, of how he would book Bill Ding and his alien invasion angle. It's crazy shit.
Type of situation, that substance in your body that's not going to let you give up. You reach down, you grab for whatever it takes to do whatever it takes to get over and tag my brother. And see, the big head right there, and I moved out of the way, and now we've got a chance to get a little revenge back on these guys for the punishment they've been giving me. I can't find my way to the corner, and there I make the tag.
Tell you, Ugo, I can tell you one thing right now. At this point in the match,
what was on your mind right now?
I was very mad. They abused my brother every way possible, and all I wanted to do was just beat him up.
Okay, now all over. Luke Williams
and Disco Inferno was you don't get it. Bill Ding, he understands structure and architecture and how things work. So he always has this strategy, a perfect strategy, because he's an architect.
Reversal here against the turnbuckle. Here he comes. Good move. And a
Sleeper right there, Ugo. See the people right there, they think that might be in question, right? Well, no, he's not going to allow it.
Okay, Butch Miller coming in, and now
I'm not going to allow it.
4-man in the ring.
Say, we knew right here, Hugo, we had to go after him, or we might be in a little bit in danger of losing our belts.
The Lanny Poffo twins.
Okay, now here, what
versus
happened
the
here? One of
Bushwhackers.
you was hit against
Did you see that? That was stiff.
Butch Miller. No, Luke Williams.
That's right. And there I am trying to fight
Seth
two guys
Rollins,
at one
the real
time
building.
and hold my own a little bit. But there they finally got the best of me. And you can only go 2-on-1.
Yeah, they're
so.
When I saw Seth Rollins back when he was Tyler Black, like super early in his career, and he had the weirdest thing when he would come out. He would do a one-man emo mosh pit. That was like his gimmick at the time. He'd come out in like a hoodie, and then he would do like a one-person emo mosh pit. It was weird.
So long
They're strong. Oh, good move. Drop kick.
All right, see?
And Butch Miller goes out of the ring. And it's now 1-on-1.
Now it's time to get back a little
Look,
revenge
Williams.
for what they were doing to me. And I tell you what, Hugo, I'm tired and I'm worn out, and I'm trying to...
There they come.
He just comes right in.
You know, Hugo, I'm supposed to be the legal man in the ring, too. They got Bart in there.
Oh,
Not
big
the legal
knee, and
guy.
out the real rope goes. They say, that's going to make things a little different right there. And I'm going to go outside, and I'm going to take care of what has to be done out there.
Good move. Referee gets knocked
Uh-oh,
out.
there goes the referee,
I don't know who got the worst hit, the referee or
Hey,
one
why
of
is the referee
Sheepherders.
not counting, Hugo? That's what I want to know.
Why is it the
He just got
referee
hit.
counting?
He just got hit.
He just got hit.
Look out.
He just got hit by the...
Well,
Here comes the flag.
how many times have
the
you seen
pole.
this happen?
Oh, many times.
Hugo, I am here to tell you that put a knot on my head for about a week and a half right there. I don't really remember much after that stage of the match.
Lights out for one of the Battens.
What's this referee
Wait.
doing?
And the controversial.
The Batten twins specifically said that they won this match. Tyler Black was a replacement for CM Punk, yeah. I remember him way back when he was wrestling. I think I saw it the first time I ever saw him, I think was in Muscatine, Iowa. And it was like, I don't think he had done very many big shows at the time, but he was with Merrick Brave. And then I was at the show where he did the moonsault off the giant fat guy. And then I was also at the show where he jumped off the basketball hoop, but like came up short and hit the table with like his ribs in one of the most painful looking botches I've ever seen.
Pinfall coming at this match as the news.
There's another interesting match too, but it was also kind of depressing. He was wrestling Josh Abercrombie, who he had like this really long feud with, and Josh Abercrombie threw him over the top rope, and he like cleared the top rope out into like the second row of seats. But since no one came to the show, the entire section was empty. Like every single seat in that section was empty. On the video, it looks really sad. It looks like an empty arena match, but it was like open for business.
In this hot Saturday night, at this given time,
You're absolutely right. Hot Saturday night.
No, the Moons. He may have recreated it there at some point, but it was originally. It had to either be in Iowa or at the I can't remember the name of the city in Illinois, but yeah, it was off of the real goofy looking guy that was always selling bootleg VHS tapes and DVDs at the shows.
Hot about that, Hugo.
Hugo, like I say, at this point in the match, I'm down there on the mat. I really don't remember much till really a couple hours later.
Celebration.
Back at home.
Celebration time for the New Zealand team.
Hey JF, that's what It's Me was saying. Sound like a Southern Joe Rogan.
See, now there is justice. See, there's a Ricky Vargas. You got to give credit where credit is due. He's an intelligent referee. He knows what the Sheepherders are capable of, and he was watching the match to make sure that what just happened wouldn't happen. And they get the belts on a cheap shot. And it looks like, as far as I'm concerned, well, I know for a fact, he came out and did the rightful thing and gave the titles right back to us. Exactly right.
Okay, by disqualification, the Batten twins retain the World Tag Team
We outsmarted the
Championship.
promotion anyway.
And it's hot. Saturday night. It's getting hotter here in the studio, too.
Yeah, literally when I saw him do it, he had never been to any of those companies. Like he hadn't been to PWG. He wasn't even like getting a push in IWA Mid-South yet, which is where he really got his footing there, and he went from there to PWG and then up to Ring of Honor. But he had a huge arc in IWA Mid-South with Josh Abercrombie that was like really epic. If you want, I think the way Ian used to book back then is that like each different city had its own feuds. So like the Midlothian, Illinois feud line was Tyler Black against Josh Abercrombie. And pretty much all those matches are worth seeing, in my opinion anyway.
Let's take you now to the next match.
Oh my God, Wahoo McDaniels against Dan Spivey. Oh man.
All right, wrestling fans, we're on to our fourth match here on the Anniversary 88 Hot Night in Bayamon. And this match, Bart, pits Dangerous Dan Spivey against the Chief, Wahoo McDaniel.
Yeah, you can also say that it pits two ex-football players against each other. And I know, Brad,
I went to a shit ton of IWA Mid-South shows around that time in like the mid-2000s. Unbelievable. Like I saw so many people that are like big name wrestlers now wrestle back then, and I was like one of 4 or 5 people in the crowd at some of those shows.
we're going to appreciate that, being ex-football players ourselves. Wahoo McDaniel and Danny Spivey, both college football.
It just depended where you went, Hunter. If you didn't like the deathmatch stuff, then you wouldn't go to a lot of the Indiana shows, especially Plainfield had a bunch of the death matches. But if it was a show that was at an armory, they stopped allowing them. And then if most of the shows in Illinois wouldn't have any death matches on them either. So you just kind of had to like pick and choose which shows you went to if you only wanted if you wanted more if you didn't want any death match wrestling, it was pretty easy to avoid.
All-stars made it all the way up to professional
you root
football,
for the downfall,
and now
yeah.
bringing
It's
rewards. They've been
completely
going all over the United
understandable.
States, and now on this hot night in Bayamon,
He was having an issue at the time with Jim Cornette. Because Ian was getting into it with all the armory people, like not cleaning up properly, not having, correct insurance and that kind of stuff. So it was like messing up booking for Cornette and Cornette's buddies in the area. And so like there was always the rumor that Cornette was calling like the armories and reporting Ian. And then eventually IWA just got banned completely out of all of the Indiana armories.
right in the middle of the ring, ready to go after it again.
Could be also a little bit more of animosity as professional jealousy could be.
Veteran
here,
pro
a major
wrestling historian.
source
I don't know
of
about
this
that.
rivalry, as Wahoo was a bigger star in pro football when he played tremendous years for the New York Jets. So a lot of things might be behind what we might just know here.
Well, you got, I think what you're talking about there, Ugo, and I hate to say at this stage of the game that you're right, but I have to...
You hate to say that I'm right.
I hate to say it.
Well, he kind of thought that I think he thought I was kind of a money mark because I traveled like to shows all over the place. Like I was at every IWA Mid-South show. I was at every Ring of Honor show. But really, I was just spending all of my money to travel, So I got to spend a lot of time talking to him and talking to Ian and stuff. He's got some interesting views on life and whatnot.
But I'm going to, you're right, these guys, you call it, I don't know, reputations. They both have reputations, and they're not going to let either of their...
You remember that guy that managed there, Jim Fannin? I became a pretty big Jim Fannin fan and got to know him as far as like a fan and a performer, not like getting to know on like a personal level, but just like, talking to and hearing stories and, getting his views on the business and stuff.
Reputations suffer from the reputation of the other. Can you follow that?
Yes, I'm trying to.
Hey, hang in there, Ugo. My brother's just, I don't know if he ate a bad burrito today or what, but, I agree with you, too. This is going to be an excellent match. These two guys.
Well, whenever I think of Ian and people talk about bad stuff he did, I remember I think it was the 2005 TPI, he had announced that Tyler Black, Seth Rollins, was going to get this was going to be his first really big opportunity. So he was going to book him in the first round of the tournament against AJ Styles, which AJ Styles did wrestle in IWA. He was in Ted Petty Invitationals before. But in reality, there was never any intention of him. He was never booked to be there. And according to him at the time, after the event, he said he was never even contacted about being booked. but like they hyped that matchup so much leading up to it. And when you got there that night, there was a tiny piece of paper on the ticket desk that said like AJ Styles will not be appearing tonight. And I was like, come on, bro.
As like we've said, no love lost. They're out to prove a point. Who is the better man? And maybe back in the back of their minds, who was the greatest football player,
yeah,
too.
And when Spivey gets angry, and we have seen that many, many times in the World Wrestling Council.
Are you talking about the one where like Mickey Knuckles calls up? I was such a Mickey Knuckles fan. Oh my God, she was such a fun wrestler to watch live.
A lot of stitches have been given by this man here, including eyes, broken noses, and more of that. Because Spivey.
I took chops from Mickey Knuckles. I took forearms and headbutts, and they were all absolute like nightmares.
He hits hard.
Well, like I felt like my brain jostle in my skull on her forearm.
Just look at the man, Ugo. He's probably 6'8", 6'7".
I was not there for that match.
A
little bit
he
before
is a
me.
big man, but he just felt. I was just getting ready to say Wahoo McDaniel's big chop, and he has probably one of the most devastating chops in the sport of professional wrestling.
Yeah, he's a good friend of mine. One time coming out of the airport, I went to pick him up.
We won't hold that against him.
Oh my goodness! And he chopped me just a friendly Indian chop, and I had the 5 fingers there for over 2 days.
Ugo, it's a thunderous chop, and any of the fans out there can't even really appreciate it until you've maybe got in the ring or had, like you said, have him demonstrate it to you and feel the power that he puts behind that hand.
Well, you can hear the smack every time he hits the chest. You can see the sweat fly. I mean, he's got some momentum behind that chop. But there's dangerous Danny Spivey doing what he does best.
Hey, Cody
brawling.
Turbo.
He's taking the big Indian down, and I personally hope he puts a real hurting on him.
Wait a minute.
Well, Bart, I don't know if I agree with that or not. I think
that you personally hope that Spivey hurts Wahoo?
Yeah, Wahoo's one of our friends, too. And,
so, Wahoo? So now I got heat with your brother, and now he wants Spivey to...
Wearing his
What did he eat this morning?
He's dressed like a genie.
I'm not really sure, Ugo. But like I say, Wahoo is one of our
I was going to invite you guys next Saturday home, but... Not if he's going to behave like that.
Dangerous Danny McSpivey.
He looks like somebody who got in a fight when he went out in the morning to get his paper.
Going to town on Wahoo McDaniel, regardless of what you two want to go over there and talk about. I'm going to talk about the match. There's a big Irish whip into the turnbuckle.
Cornette has a great tell-off on Dan Spivey, if you've never heard it. And he's like, tells the story shitting on him, and then he's like, and you know what? I never see you anymore because you're a nobody who never amounted to anything. But Dan Spivey, fuck you.
Gold elbow to the top of the head. Ugo, he is hurting Wahoo McDaniels right now, and hopefully maybe hurting that ego a little bit.
Blood all over the face
boy,
of
here
the
we
great
go.
Indian warrior, Wahoo McDaniel. A lot of trouble here.
Yes, sir. He's been, Dangerous Dan's been pounding that head, and obviously he's done a little bit of damage there, and Chief's in a little bit of trouble. But Ugo, you know, and I know that when Wahoo's down, he's certainly not out, and we can expect
he's going to bleed all over the ring and then just get slapped in a headlock.
I think he looks good in red, personally.
Wow, Ugo,
this is less than 2 months. Wow.
Oh, my goodness.
He's my brother, and I don't even know. He's my twin brother, and I don't even know.
Well, if you don't know, imagine
I didn't even think about that, Rhodes
I'm
Scholar.
having trouble just holding the microphone.
Tell you, just a big rear chin lock right here. Just what's he doing right there, Ugo?
Hey, listen,
He's trying
I'm going to get color and
get
put
that
me in a
blood
headlock.
flow right up through the neck, into that forehead, and cause more loss of blood to weaken Wahoo McDaniels. And as far as I'm concerned, hey,
I guess,
the means
though,
justify the ends, or the ends.
My issue with this is that it's geared toward the camera, but I guess if they're recording this with the intention of releasing it on VHS, then it's not a bad idea because it lets us see get a good look at the blood. But I was thinking more of like, this was a show that was like more for the, primarily focused on the live audience. So like, it's weird to cut a guy open and then put him in a rest hold.
Justify the means, however you want to look at it.
Referee Saul
anyway.
Scarente asking Wahoo if he surrenders. But the
Wahoo.
Indian chief is not a quitter.
No, he's not going to
Now,
quit,
this is what
Ugo.
I'm
He's
Look at
about.
those punches.
Okay,
Knuckle
he's
City
Give
here.
him those Terry
Dangerous
Funk
Dan
punches
Spivey
with
is
the
a
one
big
knuckle
man,
up
so you
high
know
to
he's
bust
got a
him
big
back
knuckle,
open again.
and Wahoo McDaniel's forehead's definitely getting a good introduction to it. But like I say, Wahoo's not down yet, and he's certainly not out. So this match is a really great match. Just typifies Anniversary 88, a hot night in Bayamon, and the Chiefs really in trouble.
Brian Bosworth? Absolutely. Man, remember that badass movie with Brian Bosworth, Stone Cold, where he's like the undercover agent working with the biker gang?
Alvin myself took about an hour extra to come into the TV studio, maybe?
I don't know. That's a possibility, Hugo. You know, normally we're pretty late back guys.
You got to realize that our time is very valuable. The fact that we'd take the time out to sit down here with you, and you know, we've got 1,000 other things that we could do, but we thought that we would improve the quality of this tape right here for the people out there watching it on their TVs. We thought we'd add a little class to the tape, and that's why we're sitting here, whether you want to agree with that point of view or not.
Well, Bart, it's an honor for us to be here and for E&G Productions, Fast Eddie, and sit here with Hugo and bring these great matches to the people. I don't know.
Why do they keep calling him Hugo? Didn't he also have a 3-episode? He might have. I think my brain, though, when I'm trying to think of him on a show, I keep thinking of Lorenzo Lamas and Renegade for some reason. Like that's blocking up my brain when I think of Bosworth on a TV show.
Well, there's Wahoo McDaniel trying to throw a few elbows into the midsection.
That was for the rest.
And just not having any effect on this big guy. Danny McSpivey.
Dude, I would watch. I think Stone Cold, though, might have
what he can do to
it.
Wahoo McDaniel. That's why I call him McSpivey there, Hugo, because he's got green on. I mean, let's make this all Irish,
tits,
right?
by the way,
Okay.
We're an hour deep into this, so we can speak frankly about this. That movie, See No Evil, Hear No Evil, with Richard Pryor and Gene Wilder, there's a scene in it where the camera is to the side, and then, like, Joan Severance leans out of the shower this way, so you're seeing her, like, a side view of her. Unbelievable Kino. I mean, just spectacular. I couldn't believe my eyes.
Okay, if you say so. I ain't gonna disagree with you. Here we go.
Oh,
Tremendous
Ugo?
kick.
Big
All right,
boot.
Spivey.
That's
He
weird.
follows through. He
It
hooks the
Sounds
leg.
weird to me.
Up. Hey, the Chiefs not out yet.
No, he kicked out, and now Spivey doing more damage to the forehead. But here comes the Chief.
Oh,
now
come
look
on,
at that,
ref.
Hugo. I guess you're going to sit there and tell me that was a great wrestling move
Hugo.
right there.
No, I won't. I would just say it's survival. I'm a survivor myself.
Bart, these two animals out here, they're going for broke. You got to do what you got to do,
Come on, Wahoo.
right?
He's a bloody mess, and he wants to protect his life.
I don't agree with that. Why does he have to resort to that? I mean,
Okay, it's Spivey in trouble now. Against the turnbuckle, here comes the Chief.
Who was
Do you
Vince's
see the
Wahoo?
size
What
of
was that guy's
boot as it
name?
came?
Oh,
Right,
Jay
watch
Strong.
out.
Nobody saw it any closer
Oh, wait a
than Wahoo
minute.
McDaniel.
Close to the ropes. They're holding
Now,
on.
what's the referee doing right there? He has no business interfering in the match
Well,
at that particular
Spivey
point.
was trying
He
to
had his,
cheat.
he had his foot on the rope,
Danny
Bart.
McSpivey has got a valid point
Oh,
right
big
here.
mistake. He
Oh,
got
look at
distracted with the
this.
referee. Here we go. 2, 3.
I knew he
Oh,
could do
come
it.
on.
Say, why don't they raise the hand of the referee? He's the one that won that match for Wahoo McDaniel. Hugo.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, before anything else happens
What
here,
is
we
these?
are going to
What are
take
these
you
pants?
into another great match of this hot Saturday
ridiculous.
night, which I'm starting to wonder which is hotter, the TV story right here or that
What was
night.
that? I'm so sorry. Uh-oh, Chicky Stars coming up.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we go into the match of Invaded 3 and Chicken Star, we're going to show you an incident that occurred prior to that match.
Jobbed him out. Oh, look at this. Chicky Stars Sport Shop.
Chicken Star had issued a special invitation to the Super Medic, but he was
Now,
going
this
to
is
be
what
in
I'm
boys
talking
for a
about.
big surprise on that night.
Well, I tell you, Hugo, I think, I remember this particular situation when it occurred. It occurred at here in B. Thorne Stadium here in San Juan, and I'm sure you were just as pleased
at
as
those
Pudge
chairs.
at the final outcome of this particular
Beautiful.
situation.
No, I was not pleased at all. I don't like people being hit that way or suffer the way Chicky Star did or anybody else. But we have to recall to the people that it was Chicky Star's, one of his wrestlers, Raging Bull Manny Fernandez, who had previously injured Invader 3.
That's exactly right, Hugo. And right here, you know, the world of professional wrestling is tough, and what the people are about to see is what happens sometimes when you try to injure a man and put him out of wrestling permanently.
Yeah, but that's just one of the risks that you take whenever you get in a squared circle, Brad. You ought to know that. Hugo ought to know that. He's been in there before. Now look at this cheap shot right here by soon-to-be the Invader 3. Now, you're going to tell me, Hugo, that that was particularly necessary right there?
Whoa,
no,
what's this guy's
gimmick? It was necessary, but you never know how a human being is going to react when he's been hurt before. In the case of Invader 3, the Raging Bull Manny Fernandez, who was managed by Chicky Star, almost killed this man.
That's exactly right, Hugo. You know, he jumped off the top rope on the man's stomach.
I don't understand.
And he had a lot of internal bleeding. It was a bloody mess out there. I mean, he could have killed the man, Bart.
So did he come out in one mask, and then when he put on the other mask, that was like revealing that he wasn't the masked person they thought he was? Or am I just reading into it too much? Because I have no idea what's going on storyline-wise. Chicky Star, though, not doing too well.
Well, and this was payback.
Exactly right.
We're not saying it's right, but it's revenge.
Well, I tell you, I totally disagree with the whole situation. Like I said, every time you get in the squared circle, you're taking your life into your own hands, and that's exactly what Invader 3 did when he got in the ring with Manny Fernandez. And to go out here and cause this kind of harm, this kind of punishment to Chicky Star when he was not really directly responsible for the Invader 3's injuries, well, I think that's just totally
Wait a minute, Bart. If he was not directly responsible, you know, he was Manny Fernandez's manager, and he's going to tell Manny what to do, so how can you say he was not directly involved?
Yeah, but he didn't go out there and do it himself, you know. It's not like he actually did all the damage to Invader 3. And look at this. There's Dr. Hector Gonzalez, who probably has more appearances than any tape put out by E&G Productions and Capital Sports Promotions. He's a main attraction, and particularly in a situation like this. Now, look at the back of the head. I don't remember or recall how many stitches Chicky got from this particular situation.
This is fantastic.
But, I tell you, I disagree with the whole thing.
Stitches.
Oh, my God. This is like enhanced reality storytelling.
Sometimes people do things to get even, and even though if we don't agree with their tactics, in the case of Chicky Star,
hey, quit rubbing your fingers all in his wound,
wrestlers, and this time the people were actually very, very happy that this happened.
That's exactly the point I was going to make. I think the people finally enjoyed seeing Chicky Star get a taste of his own medicine right here.
Oh, you saying they're enjoying? Look at this graphic gore right here, Brad. You're telling me that there's people out. Well, you got to remember, this is Puerto Rico too, and that's their kind of mentality, right, Hugo?
Oh, wait a minute. Don't get me into this situation here. I'm just an innocent bystander here.
Well, you take up for your people all the time.
No, I just call it like it is, and
wow,
nobody's
really,
saying that I'm right all the time,
this.
but I try to be as accurate as I can, and I just call it the way I see it. I know the fans were surprised to find out that Super Medic was really the Invader 3, and that he had used the mask of a good friend of him who was the Super Medic.
You know
how the doctor was
my God, they're
doing
going to stitch him up right there?
Initiation to shave off the hair and then to stitched up about 14 stitches on the head.
I'm telling you what, Hugo, I don't think anybody was more surprised than Chicky Star to have Invader 3 come out there and give him a little payback.
And the doctor was afraid of moving him.
Well, there's one thing I can say, Hugo. If there's anybody that's skeptical out there, that all they have to do is sit there and see this particular situation right here to realize the dangers that we have to look for and take chances for every time we get in the squared circle. That is not a pretty sight.
No, it's not.
It certainly isn't, Bart. But like you say, every night you go out there, you put your career on the line, you put your body on the line. Chicky Star just wasn't his night.
And now here comes the match.
Okay, here we are back into the hot night in Bayamon. Chicky Star against the Invader 3, and this is where Chicky Star will actually get his chance of revenge. And now look at this, Hugo. How can you explain this? The Invader 3 brings in an axe handle in the ring and starts laying it back on Chicky Star. Now, there's no excuse for that.
Anger and the desire of getting even. I don't think he was satisfied with the stitches on that Chicky Star Sports Shop, and he was out to just take him out of wrestling, just like his wrestler did. And Chicky Star came out in TV and said that he had ordered Manny Fernandez to put him out of professional wrestling.
So there you go, Bart. Directly involved in the Manny Fernandez
He's
situation.
already bleeding.
So as far as I'm concerned and Ugo's concerned, I'm sure just about everybody else out there watching this tape is concerned, Chicky Starks is getting another taste of his own medicine.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, Ugo's opinions are always biased towards people like Invader Trace and Carlos Colon and all those other guys. His opinions biased. And look at Chicky Star right
they
here.
They got the Coke sponsorship for this one.
Once again, profusely at the hands of Invader 3, and I have a feeling Chicky Star is going to reach down and give Invader 3 exactly what he deserves, Ugo, and that's a real hiney kicking.
Well, can you verify your accusations here?
What
Verify
accusations?
them,
You know exactly what I'm saying is true. Brad knows it's true, whether he wants to admit it or not. Here's Invader 3, once again, right outside the ring there. It was a little rainy that night, a little muddy. I mean, anything can happen out there. And finally, Chicky Star gets back in the ring. Invader 3 looks like he's mad, but I know Chicky Star is going to end up getting the upper hand, and it's just going to take a few minutes, isn't it, Brad?
Well, I tell you what, Bart, right here, Invader 3's got the initiative right here. I mean, it is a hot night in Bayamon. It's a anniversary 88. He's just going out there and taking care of business. The only way you really...
That's the name of the tape, is A Hot Night in Bayamon. Like, I don't know why I get why he keeps saying it, but at this point, you already own the tape. You know what I mean? You don't need him to keep saying it.
They can when you're dealing with a guy like Chicky Star, and that's to go fist city, tooth and nail, and just try to beat him before he can get it.
That was an axe handle?
He was biting him right here, all over the head and forehead of Chicky Star. You could see the blood just...
What a great way to start a match.
From the forehead of Chicky Star. Referees the Vikingo from Central America.
All right, Chicky Star finally did what he had to do.
A low shot.
And, well, you're talking survival a little.
Me and this one guy in the crowd got the same shirts on.
A couple of matches ago, Ugo, and that's exactly what Chicky Star coming back. Are you contradicting yourself
I'm just...
now?
This guy, we got the same shirt.
I just wanted you to describe that it was a low blow, that it was right in the groin area.
No, it wasn't in the groin at all. You must not have been looking. He hit him right in the solar plexus area. And there's a reverse atomic breaker, and you're going to say, yeah, that's the groin area too, but you're wrong.
At least it's legal. At least it's legal.
Exactly, it is legal. And then you got El Vikingo, the referee there, who I think is one of the most worthless referees in the sport of professional wrestling. He's doing absolutely nothing.
I'll tell you what.
The commentary with Batten twins are pretty...
I'll have to agree with you on that.
Did you hear that, Brad?
Yeah, I sure did, and I think I'm going to have to agree with you there too, Bart. Vikingo, he doesn't know.
I can't believe this. We finally agree on something here.
Yeah, I think we all agree Vikingo doesn't know a wrist
watch
from a wrist
Vikingo.
lock.
Yes, sir.
Well, there's Invader 3 using that hard head again, and finally stopped Chicky a little bit. But
So is that really the dad of the guy that's in the AEW guy?
I just wish Vikingo just stay out of the way and let these guys settle the score once and for all. And Vikingo, just get out of there. You're nothing but being in the way.
Okay, Invader 3 all over.
Shot to the lower abdominal region.
Every second of it. Big turnbuckle. Down goes Chicky Star.
This is really a great match, Ugo. It's been going back and forth, back and forth. No man's really had the upper hand. Chicky Star's bloody, but he's still got his punches in.
What is this guy talking about? Okay, dude in the mask started it by bashing the guy's skull open with an axe handle and has proceeded to kick the shit out of him the whole rest of the match. And he's like, well, it's been a real back and forth contest.
He's begging right here.
Could be some...
maybe the no mask.
No, there's no mask going on here. You're starting to sound like Bobby Jaggers now, Ugo. There's no...
wait a minute.
Going on here.
Wait a minute. Have I just been compared to Bobby Jaggers?
Oh, you said that, not me.
Can't believe this. I can't believe this.
Invader 3 shooting Chicky
shit,
Star
he would like to have
there's
that.
a big gut to the kick to the midsection.
Actually, tacky
very low.
Well, you're very questionable, but once again, you look at the
I'd
referee. He's not going to do anything about it. Chicky Starks is going to have to reach down into his intestinal fortitude area that I know he has.
I don't want Jerry Lawler to rip off
pull
my
out
ideas,
something to stop the Invader 3. Look at he's biting him on the forehead. Never let be said that the World Wrestling Council action and all.
He could very well, Randy, steal my idea for my Coke room, just like he stole the gimmick of the King.
The tapes put out by ENG Productions and Capital Sports Promotions are not a lot of violence because it's a very violent sport that we're in, Ugo, and I think this match typifies that violence.
Well, in the Caribbean, a lot of things happen, and they like hot action. And when you come down here to the Caribbean, you could expect to be in with some tough guys that want to go out and do some damage on your faces and bodies.
You're absolutely right, Hugo. I think the World Wrestling Council is probably one of the
again with the
toughest wrestling organizations in the whole world.
Oh,
because,
thank you,
you never
World
know what's going to
Wrestling
happen when you
Council.
go out there from night to night. I mean, you got the fans out there throwing stuff at you.
There's a big shot by the
my
Chicky Star's in
God,
big trouble
what a
right
bump.
now, Hugo.
Look how filthy
He's
that
out of
is.
it.
The World Wrestling Council is the best wrestling around. I don't care what anybody says.
Well, you know, Hugo, Brad and I have had an opportunity to wrestle for a lot of promotions in the 6 years that we've been wrestling, and I can honestly say that the World Wrestling Council, as far as caliber of competition, as far as toughness of competition, as far as, I mean, where else are you going to see barbed wire matches and double chain matches and cage matches and double cage matches? I mean, everything
Triple
that you
cage
could possibly
matches.
see in the
Triple
sport of
chain
professional
matches.
wrestling to settle scores or whatever, you're going to catch in the World Wrestling Council, and I know Fast Eddie is going to catch it in the E&G production tapes regardless of when they
Airtight
come
matches.
out.
I'll tell you what, that was well said. Pretty good, pretty good.
The Invader
Is that a
3.
compliment coming from you, Hugo?
Yes, I believe it was. At least it was intended to be. Did you notice that kick just hit the side of the head of the Invader 3
Well,
against the ring post?
Sheik Star is finally gaining control of the match. It's just a matter of time before Invader 3 ran out of gas or whatever,
Oh, man,
ran out of
Chicky's
tactics,
all
ran
beat
out
up.
of punches, because he was throwing an awful lot of punches. And you know, Hugo, punches are technically illegal, but when you got a referee like that, El Viquino, then you just got to take matters in your own hand.
Well, Chicky Star now looks like he's a little bit more fresh than the Invader 3.
They really
Perhaps all
hate
that
the ref.
punching that Invader 3 did has exhausted him here.
See, this guy,
Invader 3
he's
kicks
not
his leg
a
there.
good match for him.
The leg, well, the ropes.
Once again, smart ringmanship by Chicky Star. He knows where he's at all times in the ring, and he does what he has to do.
He saved his butt, actually, because he was out for the count.
The Invader 3 looks like he's got a little bit of new life now, Hugo. He's taking it to Chicky
He
Star.
suplexed his legs into the ropes, and the guy was like,
Chicky
what a
Star
ring
swinging
general.
it there, Hugo. Oh, there's a couple of jabs,
Great
couple of
ring
jabs, and
awareness.
there's that big right. Brings
he's
Chicky
out.
Star
He's
down. I
out.
tell you, he's hurting bad right here, but I've
he's
got
not out.
confidence
He's up.
that Chicky Star is going to overcome this particular
In a
situation.
moment like this is when a true athlete proves how great he is.
You're absolutely right, Hugo. We've been in the ring many times with Chicky Star, and we know exactly how tough
Chicky
this
Star.
individual is. And even though he's in the kind of in the losing,
You cannot
aspect
count him
right
out.
now. You know, you can't count him out.
Yes,
He's tough.
He's dangerous.
Well,
Like an evil snake.
as the old cliche goes, it's never over until the fat lady sings, and she ain't singing yet, and it's probably somebody you might know anyway.
He's probably sitting around with Eddie Grimes somewhere.
Well, that's a possibility, too.
Okay, meanwhile, in Invader 3, it's all over.
And look at this.
Chicky Star, illegal tactics, and I have to be honest about it. It hasn't been a scientific strategy battle here. It's been just an all-intention battle of destroying Chicky Star by Invader 3 here.
I think what you're trying to say there, Hugo, is all-out war.
Oh, wow.
Yes, it's
Those
been
are
that.
nice.
Well, you know, Hugo, when you got Chicky Star, who had 14 stitches put in his head by Invader 3, and then Manny Fernandez, who almost ended Invader 3's career while managed by Chicky. Oh, there's a low blow.
No. You didn't.
That was a shot to the
Why
groin
are you
right
misleading the people out there who are watching on their homes? Why are you misleading those fat men out there that are sucking down a beer right now and misleading them into the type of tactics
Why
that
are
Chicky's
these
using? It was
people
merely a
misleading
hard
these
shot
fat
to the
men
solar
watching
plexus.
at home?
Hugo, are we watching the same match?
I don't know. I thought I heard something about...
There's a big knee by Chicky Star. You all go ahead and
Fat man
continue your
watching
commentary. Yes, you know they're out there, Hugo. There's guys out there that think they're bad. You're talking about truck drivers. These guys that go
They're
down
nice
to pool,
people.
they
They're
go down to
living.
pool halls and think that they can play pool with the best. And you've seen the best in action. And that's what I'm pointing this comment to, the fat guys out there that think they're so bad that there's no way they could go out and do what these two athletes are doing in the ring right now, and that's selling out and giving everything they got.
Well, I don't think we agree with the comments on... let's identify your name again, because you are twins, and I don't want people to confuse the other one on that previous statement, which I would not be too proud to...
Hey, now, Hugo, I'm going to have to draw the line here. You know, Bart is my brother. And it's really hard. You can't say that about my brother. I agree with him about the fat truck drivers and all those other worthless guys out there that think they're tough. I mean, if you're tough, you get in the ring with a professional wrestler, and you're going to find out what tough is, particularly the likes of the sensational Batten twins.
I think that answer.
Anytime Chicky does anything, they're like shitting on him. Like earlier, they were pointing out that the Invader was not using a low blow. He was hitting in the groin, which is legal. But then whenever Chicky did it, he was like, oh, look, a clear low blow.
Your question right there, Ugo. Chicky Star, once again, battling tooth and nail with the Invader 3, and they're just exchanging punches right now, back and forth. And there's a head into the turnbuckle, which once again stops Chicky Star. Now, Ugo, how much punishment do you think Chicky Star can take? He's taken a lot of punishment, but he's still, big back.
He's
big
a very tricky,
this guy alive.
Kicks by the Invader 3.
By the Invader 3. The Invader 3 known for his flying tactics.
Chicky kick out.
He should have hooked the leg. I think he had enough to cover him. I just thought that he should have.
Well, I think stamina is starting to play a vital role in this match right now.
Oh, watch this move.
Up in the second rope.
Nobody makes it better.
Press.
Chicky
Star rolled it over.
Reversal.
Well, I thought that was it right there, Ugo.
I think it should have been in. If Mike Kingo, he can't even count to 3.
Hey, I don't think he can either. I agree with Bobby Jagger's comment on one other.
Nice.
He's out. I think he's got him.
Belly to back.
He's got him. 2 seconds. Very, very close.
It's uno, dos, tres in Spanish, or 1, 2, 3 in English for the people out there at home. And it's 1,
it was a close count.
2, 3 for you slow-thinking people out there.
Slow thinking.
Slow thinking
That's
people.
Smart move on Chicky Star.
Meanwhile, Chicky Star, it's all over in Invader 3. I'm being confused here. I don't know anymore.
Hey, now see, finally, Chicky Star used his brains, used his stamina, used his...
You got to give him credit, though, man. He has taken a beating in this match. He's been bleeding consistently the whole time. He's getting some, getting some clout off of this, I think.
Dexterity, whatever you want to call it, and he pulled the match out. There he is, getting his hand raised. Chicky Star put it on the Invader Trace.
A fantastic, hard-fought battle. And
did you see the military people again?
A sensational win for Chicky Star. He's bloody, but he is the winner. There's the doctor. Gonzalez again. Checking now on the Invader 3.
He gets a lot of business, doesn't he, Ugo?
Very dangerous profession. I will not say that he gets a lot of business. He's a good friend and a good doctor. Well, and we are about to ready with any more comments.
I agree with Bart. He gets a lot of business down here, Ugo.
Let's see how this developed here. Good move by Chicky Star.
He holds the rope. It was an over-aggressive move by the Invader 3.
Hit first into the canvas.
He snapped that head back on the canvas, and that's enough to make you see stars.
Big elbow drop.
Vicious elbow. Very fast. He went for the cover. He hooked the leg.
Hooked the leg right here. I have to agree with you there, Ugo, even though it kills me to do it.
And it was all over.
And hey,
I mean,
Star,
it's a clean win unless I missed something.
Okay, fans, we are going to take you immediately to our next match. A hot night in Bayamon. It gets hotter.
That was a good match. That was the best match so far, I think. Oh, shit. Where's ATF Media? Hands of Stone, Rugged Ronnie Garvin versus the Iron Sheik. Holy shit. I can't wait for this.
All right, here we are with our 6th match, and if any match on the whole hot summer night in Bayamon typifies how hot of a night it was, it's this match here, the Iron Sheik against Hands of Stone, Ronnie Garvin.
And here's the Iron Sheik singing the national anthem of Iran. I guess that's what he's doing, Ugo. I can't understand Iranian. But this is obviously his way of greeting these great people of this great island, of this great rock of Puerto Rico. And he's got the right idea. He's telling the people to Sierra La Boca.
USA is a sick country like you. Iran, #1.
I don't think the Iron Sheik realizes
Iran, #1. Puerto Rico.
Speaks English.
Well, I don't think it really matters. It's hard to understand him anyway.
That's true, too.
Whenever he speaks. Well, we talk about some strange individuals. Well, he's one of them.
Well, I tell you, Hugo, this match pits probably two household names, and anybody that's a hardcore wrestling fan has heard of the Iron Sheik and the Hands of Stone, Ronnie Garvin, and this promises to be nothing less than a brawl, because anytime you get these two guys together in the squared circle, you're not going to have a wrestling match, and right away, there's the Iron Sheik laying it into Ronnie Garvin. He hadn't even take off his robe garb yet, and he's taking that towel Garvin brings in the ring. He's choking with him. I tell you what, I'm enjoying this a lot.
This is what he did, how he opened with Hogan, I think.
Hands of Stone, Ronnie Garvin. Let's talk a little bit about their careers. Iron Sheik, an ex-WWF World Heavyweight Champion, and Hands of Stone, Ronnie Garvin, former NWA World Champion, also World Wrestling Council's ex-Universal Champion. So there's too many there that want to prove who is the better of the two, and they have the ability and the talent to do so.
That's right. This is a classic match, Hugo. Right now, the Iron Sheik's choking him with that Sheik gear or whatever it is he wears on his head.
Yo, Vinny Slugger, what's up, man?
Drape or whatever it is. And Ronnie Garvin.
Have us a referee again?
Hugo, I wasn't even going to mention anything about the referee.
Big Kingo is there.
That's right. I think they purposely, Capital Sports Promotion intentionally puts him in these kind of matches.
Wait a minute. I don't think
he's not going to do anything.
I could talk because I know for a fact that Big Kingo, he's assigned by the World Wrestling Council, by the local commission here in Capital Sports, has nothing to do with the assignments on who is going to referee this match or the other.
Well, you know, Hugo, I think a requisite for being a referee is you ought to be able to count to three, and Vikingo can't even do that.
Well, you know, Hugo, you go in and you say that, and you make the people out there believe whatever you want to make them believe. But I'm telling you people out there, and I'm once again referring to those fat slobs that are sitting.
You think Iron Sheik was really sweating it out when he was coming across the border, or like traveling across the, what's it like if you're traveling from the U.S., like mainland U.S. to Puerto Rico? Is there like at this time, would there have been very much, like customs or whatever?
There with their brewski hanging out of their hand, that Vikingo is assigned matches like this because they know that he can't control
some product.
And look at the Iron Sheik, he's going crazy, but there's a big chop from Ronnie Garvin, and you know that those are very heavy chops, Hugo.
Not only is he famous for
there's
his Hands of Stone.
Wow. Took the Iron Sheik right off his feet. Everybody knows how famous that big right hand is of Ronnie Garvin.
Oh, he's biting the Iron Sheik right now.
I tell you, just absolute mayhem. There's a hand nail rake across the back, and Ronnie Garvin down the
what in the world?
Full moon, hot night in Bayamon, Hugo.
You hit it right in the nail because the Iron Sheik never expected that.
Well, it looks like he's begging Allah there for a little mercy.
That was an interesting tactic.
Oh, there's the two fingers. Now, Hugo, how can the referee allow stuff like that? There's Vikingo. He saw the fingers go in the eye of the Iron Sheik, and he's doing. I'm
chartered flights.
Stop talking about.
Well, it's a battle right from the beginning. It's going to get rougher because don't count the Sheik out.
Well, like you said, Hugo, two former world champions, one the WWF and the other in the NWA, plus Ronnie Garvin did hold the prestigious World Wrestling Council Universal Heavyweight title.
There's a cover.
And there's a 1-2, and I don't think Vikingo can count to three. Do you, Brad?
I don't either. You know, Bart, I have a tendency to agree with our friend Bobby Jaggers when he refers to El Vikingo as El Domo, El Referee.
Wait a minute. Did I just hear you say our friend?
That's right. Bobby Jaggers is a very good friend of ours, Hugo, and I'll thank you not to say anything derogatory about him because
thank you not to.
I just don't want you to.
And not only that,
let me just get this straight. Wait a minute. Maybe I'm not hearing right. You said my friend Bobby Jaggers.
That's exactly right. Bobby Jaggers and I go back to all the way to 1974.
Eddie, I am in deep trouble right here. Eddie Grice.
And Iron Sheik with a rear chin lock right now on Ronnie Garvin. He's controlling the tempo of the match. Garvin's trying to bridge up. Now he's up into a top wrist lock. And El Vikingo's sitting there wondering, hey, I don't even think I know what this hold is.
That's exactly right, Bart, because he doesn't know a wrist lock from a wristwatch. Like I said earlier, he's a worthless referee. He's El Vikingo, El Domo, El Referee.
And there is a show of power by the Iron Sheik right there as he powered Ronnie Garvin back into the headlock from that top wrist lock.
Starting to have flashbacks right here.
Well, you go ahead and have your flashbacks, Ugo. We're going to sit here and bring this great match to the
Poor
people.
Sheik.
That's right,
baby.
Ugo. You don't have to say anything if you don't want to, because Brad and I have got total control of the situation. We're the men with the rap, the men with the looks, the men that get all the women. We know exactly what we're doing, where we've been, where we're going, and what's going to happen. So you sit there and think about Bobby Jaggers, and we'll describe the Iron Sheik putting those big, heavy boots to the upside-down Ronnie Garvin in the turnbuckle.
Remember another
Pretty
thing.
close to disqualification here.
You think Vaquinho's smart enough to disqualify anybody?
Look at that. He threw the man off the rope there. If I can't, you got a clue.
Well, classic battle right here, Brad. Classic. There's a big jump.
He came out of nowhere.
Everybody,
Did you see the sweat just flying off the chest?
They heard it up on 200th row of Juan Labril Stadium there in Bayamont.
Oh, there's a big double knockout right there. He's going to get up first. I think it's going to be the Iron Sheik.
Full
I'm going to sit here and see
strength,
if
body
Vaquinho can
tackles
count to
there.
3.
But here comes the Sheik,
Up, here's a count.
ex-Olympic wrestler,
That's exactly right.
gold
That's,
medalist winner.
you know, Ugo, you surprise me with some of your intelligent remarks sometimes, because that's exactly what I was going to say.
Well, I'm surprised I'm still hanging in here after a couple of the statements that I haven't heard
There's
here.
a
Ooh,
Salto side
wow.
suplex from the Iron Sheik, and I
Well, believe it or not, I couldn't believe Ronnie Garvin wasn't the main event, but he's not. There is some big talent still ahead.
guarantee you, Ugo, anytime you see the Iron
Plus the
Sheik
big
wrestle,
fire
you're going to
match.
get a suplex clinic, and whoever's in the
He's an
ring,
expert.
He's
at
an
that.
expert. Hey, you ask any well-known individual in
I
the
think he's
sport.
crazy too, but he does have that ability to surprise his opponents.
Well,
there's a camel clutch
it's
here.
near camel clutch there. If he gets his arms up on his knees, he's in trouble.
He's made a lot of
to
money
the
with that
ropes.
hold.
Now look at Ronnie Garvin. Hey, now you got a classic brawler right here. What does he do? He takes it outside the ring, and what is he going to do? He's going to take that leg. No, that's
Oh,
not
this
what
is
he-
illegal. Wait a
This
minute.
is illegal, Ugo.
Make a wish here.
Tell you, look at Vaquinho. Once again, he's not doing anything to stop this. He should disqualify.
Even you,
That just hurts just to see it.
even the fat beer-bellied men out there can relate to getting hurt like that.
Well,
He's really
How
upset
come when you
about
see
these
the
out of
fat
shape
man-
guys.
wonders out
How
there.
come when you said fat man, you looked at my editor here? Is this something personal?
Well,
Or?
no, but if the shoe fits, wear it.
All right, there's the sleeper hold applied by Ronnie Garvin, and he's a great administrator of that hold. The Iron Sheik is in a lot of trouble right here, but I've got
He's like, listen, you can't be a guy with a beer belly and be in this business.
a feeling that he's going to find a way to get out of this sleeper hold, Brad.
Ugo, once again, and Bart, a hot night,
Good
anniversary 88.
Hot night
what
in
a hot
Bayamon.
match this is, and decision's still not decided yet. It could go either way.
Well, there's a cover by the Ronnie Garvin. The Iron Sheik managed to kick out.
And what a move by Garvin. He had the sleeper, yet he went for the cover, and it didn't turn out the way he wanted, but he did take a gamble, and it almost paid off.
Well, a blatant chokehold right there. Now here's an Irish whip into the turnbuckle, and he comes in. Oh, big knee caught him right up under the chin. And I don't think Ronnie Garvin was expecting that particular
No,
knee.
caught him off
Spectacle
guard.
this
Here
match
it comes.
is.
Oh, good sunset
What a
flip.
mess.
2.
Look at that. He kicked out, and Vikingo's still
Sheik is
slapping
just
the
so
man.
limited at
What
this
lost
point,
cause.
even
Oh,
here.
maybe he's a little bit slow.
I
you
think
know.
Ugo's responsible
Kinda
for
hard to
him
watch.
getting his referee's license.
He
Oh,
can
here's
still
a drop
bump
kick
at
by
least.
What
Ronnie
a drop
Garvin.
kick by Garvin.
Hey, that's something you don't see very often either, Ugo, is Ronnie Garvin throw a flying drop kick
Yes,
like
and
that.
it's muddy out there, and
Oh,
don't have that
there's
much
one of those
balance
chops.
out
Oh,
there.
there's another one of those chops.
Ooh.
And it just looks like a Saturday night at the chopping matches here. Both
Saturday
guys
night at
brawling
the
outside the
chopping
ring.
matches.
Referee's counting. Referee's
Exactly
counting.
the kind of match that I would expect from these two ex-world champions.
Well, if they don't get back in the ring, they're both gonna be counted.
Oh, Ronnie Garvin hit that turnbuckle post. with
Here
that
it comes.
shoulder.
Clothesline.
Oh, there's a clothesline. I think
he
that
moved.
moves the arm
Get back in the
absolutely.
He'll
ring,
be
Ron.
feeling that for days.
That did the brachioradialis.
Okay,
There you go. Get in there,
Garvin
Ron.
gets in as the referee's counting, and it's a count out for the Iron Sheik, and in a
Ron
tremendous
always
battle
wins.
here. A lot of chops, punching, and kicking.
A classic brawl, Ugo. And,
Garvin wins.
Don't clip that out of context and make it sound like I'm talking about Ron Graysthorpe's landlord.
it.
If I were the Iron Sheik, I would question the decision right here because I don't think Vaquinho can count to 20.
The Sheik is not accepting this defeat here.
Oh, I don't blame him. I don't think Vaquinho can count to 20. He probably went 1,
He's having
2,
an
20.
argument here. He's not happy. He was surprised. Here it comes. He attacks Garvin.
Take care.
Well,
take care of
that's
him,
a
Iron Sheik.
kind of
Just
unprofessional,
get Vaquinho out
I
of the way so the Iron Sheik can just put
think.
him
You
out
know,
of the way.
nobody told him to
Iron
go
Sheik.
outside the ring.
Oh,
He's
but
a
right
victim of
hand.
his own
Okay,
actions.
Ronnie Garvin's not taking any of that crap from
Whoa.
Iron
And
Sheik.
look, didn't
There's a
work out
devil
for him.
Right hand right there.
Okay, take that, to our
Like that ref up,
Iron
man.
Sheik's
Send
not
him a
doing
message.
stupid. He knows when to
Crazy.
get.
Gentlemen, we're going to take you now to another great match of the hot night in Valiant, anniversary 88.
Tiene que haber un ganador. Cabellera versus Cabellera y sin límite.
Okay, here we are back in a hot night in Bayamon, another tag team match featuring
What do
our
we got this
friend
time?
Bobby Jaggers and Dandy Dan Crawford against the Barrio Boys, Hurricane
Oh,
Castillo
shit.
and Miguelito Perez in a hair versus hair match. And Brad, I
Lalo
tell
was
you what, I
vindicated
don't
the
think
other
I'd
night.
wrestle in one of these kind of matches.
You know, that's exactly right, Bart. I mean, why would we want to sign a contract for a hair versus hair? Because there's
Wait,
no
Bobby
way they're going to share
Jaggers
these
and
great
who?
locks we have, brother. That's part of our image.
Well, right there, you're
Crawford?
looking at one of the greatest classic physiques in the sport of professional wrestling.
Danny
The
Dan
type
Crawford?
of physique, I'm talking about Bobby Jaggers. The type of
Oh,
physique
get out of here.
Wow, what a
Get
look.
out of here.
men would kill for.
There's definitely been a payoff here somewhere.
Take note of this, all you
Because
out of
Bobby
shape
Jaggers,
guys at home.
boy, he doesn't come as he's been very successful, yes, but not because of his body. He's a bully with that body, but he's nothing
He's a bully
compared
with
to
the body.
muscle built like Danny Dan Crawford.
Well,
You know.
Ugo, let me try and put some kind of intelligent thought into. Now, see, now look at that. The Barrio Boys right off the bat are jumping Crawford and Jaggers, and they haven't even had a chance to get their Puerto Rican or their
They want to
Caribbean
get a
tag
win.
team
They want to
champion.
get a win fast. It's a hair versus hair. No time limit. Everything goes. And that's the only way you could beat the Kansas City Jayhawks when you attack them right from the beginning.
Well, Ugo, it's just typical Puerto Rican style, is to attack a man from behind or two men from behind when they're not looking.
Well, look at that.
Yeah,
They're
the
throwing the
the
Barrio
Batten
Boys are
twins
throwing them
are
to the scaffolding
really on
that
one in the
is holding
commentary
up,
on this.
I don't know what they're holding up, the lights or something, but
That's
it really
right, the
doesn't make any
lights.
difference. And, you know, what's with the brawling outside the ring? It seems like
Everything goes. No disqualification. It's a war.
Oh,
look
this
at
is
that
like
chair
ball-
over the head of Bobby
anything
Jaggers.
goes.
And, of course, I know Bobby's got a pretty hard head, and that might not affect him too much, but come on, Ugo. This is totally uncalled for.
Well, the hair match, you know, brings a lot more determination on the opponents because the loser gets their hair shaped right in the middle of the ring.
Well, it seems like Castillo
loser
Jr.
gets
and
their head
Miguelito
shaved,
Perez would want to get their heads shaved because they sure
Ooh,
couldn't hurt
nice.
their looks any more than they already are.
I tell you, I think it might actually.
I
improve
think
their
we're
looks
getting a little bit too personal here.
Oh no, we're not getting personal at all. You know, Miguelito Castillo.
Do I
We're
sense a
friends
little
of
bit?
ours. That,
Do I
one
sense?
particular-
Do I sense a little bit of jealousy
No,
here
there's no
involved?
jealousy at all. It's
Maybe
all
some
over the
discrimination.
internet, bro.
If you'll just shut up and let me finish, I'll tell you where the jealousy is. The jealousy is the sensational Batten twins came to Puerto Rico
Who
and
are
they
the
took the
two
tag
guys-
team
who are in-
wrestling
who's in
scene
the
by
Barrio
storm.
Boys?
And Castillo and Miguelito didn't like it. Thought we were too big for our britches, and we
Oh,
went out
after
there and
Grace
proved to them
Water
that we're the
Award.
best.
I saw
and they
that
just
clip
can't deal
from
with
Joe.
that.
Well, they used to take you to the gym almost every day and ride with you guys all the time.
The clip where she throws it and it all hits him in the chest. It's a really weird water throw. I'm thinking about doing a JFK level breakdown of the water throw.
I don't know.
Well, you know, they were just trying to lead us along there because they're trying to come off being our friends when secretly they were plotting our demise, I think, the whole time. But I tell you, Bobby
Secretly,
Jaggers,
huh?
Bobby Jaggers,
And I think Capital Sports Promotions had something to do with
It's
it
a
too,
new one.
Ugo.
there's
And
Bobby
here we go
Jaggers.
with Capital Sports again.
Well, Bobby Jaggers is, who is that referee? That's
He's
Frenchie in
Frenchy
there.
Ramos.
Well, he couldn't.
Ramos.
Well, he
He's
certainly
He's
couldn't be.
the owner of French's Gym in Brooklyn, New York.
Well, he couldn't be any worse than Vikingo. So I guess as far as referee goes, it's a
He's
step up in the right direction.
He's licensed by the New York State Athletic Commission, also by the New Jersey State Athletic Commission, and he has a license to
Were
referee
these guys
in
in
Puerto
the,
Rico and all the other Caribbean islands.
You're right, that is Frenchie. I
Were these
couldn't hardly
guys part of
recognize him
the
with that
crew that came
shine
into
coming off the top of that
WWF
bold plate
during
there.
the
That's right.
Game Rules
The
era?
clean there was kind of took my eyes off for a little bit. But here's Bobby Jaggers once again. I told told you, Hugo, at the beginning of this match, the classic physique. I mean, think how many years, Brad, it took Jaggers to get the physique like that.
Tell you what, Bart, a lot of intense
what
training
were they called?
And a lot of hard workouts from his home there in Dunlap, Kansas, to get him in the shape that he's in right now, which is peak condition.
Los Boricuas.
I guess you have a comment on that.
No, I'd rather just pass it.
That's a good idea, Hugo, because there's two of us here. I know you were tough and you were a wrestler at one time.
What a weird
You got the
time.
state-of-the-art tag team wrestling sitting right beside you, so you better keep yourself in line.
I don't want any trouble, boys.
Well, if you
Which
just
I
sit there
think
and
I'm
be
a
a
little
good
bit late on
boy,
that,
sit there and be a good boy, we might not take it out on you the next time on the pool table. There's Dan Crawford
We
coming
might
up
not take
with
it
a
out
big
on
knee
you
to
on
the
the pool
midsection
table.
and a couple of hard chops
Well,
to the
that
chest.
sounds like a
and there it goes,
Hurricane
reversal right
Paro
there.
threat.
Oh, a big Mexican belly.
Big clothesline right there.
What a good follow through by Hurricane Castillo.
I tell you, I'll give a little credit
Yeah.
here.
A lot of credit is due here.
No, a little.
Yeah, I think that the water throw is going to be a real, like, debated moment, I think. What's up, Robot Glock?
Oh, look at Jaggers.
Oh, well,
The
Jaggers.
bully in trouble.
Look at that, 2 against 1. Naturally, they can beat
he's
up, but
getting
2
whipped.
against 1.
He is getting whipped.
Hell, now see Bobby Jaggers and Dan Crawford have got to kind of take a little breather right here and get their
They need more than a
catch
breather.
their wind and get their thinking back, and because Miguelito and Castillo are hitting them with 2-on-1 tactics, and as far as I'm concerned, that's their typical way of doing things.
They're hitting them with everything, and so far we have not seen a good counterattack by the Jayhawks. And Miguelito and Castillo came into the ring not being their favorites, so they have so
they're
far.
certainly not my favorite.
You know, Hugo, there's...
I was talking about as far as winning the match, not crowd-wise, not fan-wise.
Well, there's a side headlock being administered by Castillo Jr. right there on Dan Crawford. And there's a tag. That's illegal. I can't believe they actually made a legal move there.
Oh, they always
there's always
what a move!
there's a drop down leapfrog,
wow.
drop down leapfrog, big double hip
that
toss.
was kinda nice.
And naturally, they stole that move from the sensational Bat.
Exactly
Twins,
right.
but,
Oh, my
They say
God.
imitation's the finest form of flattery,
Yes, but
Brad.
let me recall.
Oh,
you
big
guys have
double
been in
drop kick,
wrestling
too.
For 6 years, they've been in wrestling for 9 years.
Well, that's
So
only
who is copying who? Let's
Hey,
get some
Ugo,
statements here.
Ugo, if you'll
Get
just
some statements here.
put a clamp on it and let me explain to you that the sensational Batten Twins are the state-of-the-art in tag team wrestling. I mean,
Can you
got two
verify
guys-
that?
I can verify it, Brad. Aren't we the state-of-the-art in tag
Can you verify that?
team
Bart,
wrestling?
we're
Hugo, I actually
Wrestling
like
Council
Hugo's
World Tag Team
commentary, or I guess
Champions. We've held
Hugo's
belts
commentary.
everywhere we've ever been in our lives in the part of professional wrestling goes. I think that speaks for itself.
Well, Bobby Jaggers would approve of that verification. But once again, Dan Crawford
Verification.
trying to calm things down a little bit in the ring. And I
Stalling
personally
from
think
time here because they're getting whipped.
What do you mean stalling, Hugo? That's a great strategy right there. They're just trying to get their wind back and try to figure out where these guys are coming from. Because obviously the Barrio boys are...
When I checked in on the stream last night, Damius Octavius had just made a big dono, and I don't know what the vibe is like in chat lately, but like people seemed really pissed off at him for donating.
are so vain that they don't want to take a chance on...
Low kick.
Oh, it's a kick into the midsection, Hugo.
Right in the breadbasket, Hugo.
That's
Come on.
right.
Call the match the way it is.
You know, now if you hit one of them fat beer-bellied truck drivers there in the there's just a little bit of bad thinking there on the
hit
part of
him
the
anyway.
Jayhawks. And what's the purpose of going over and throwing a punch at Bobby Jaggers when he's outside on the apron, Hugo?
Hey,
What's
man, there's a lot of people out here that would like to
there
do
it
the
is
same.
again.
There they go, double teaming again, too, Hugo. Now, how can you possibly condone that?
Well, I'm not. I'm
Well,
just saying
there's
it was great.
Standing vertical suplex. Finally, Castillo brings Dan Crawford down, crashing to the mat with the cover, but I guarantee you he's not going to get the foot on the rope. See, you got to do what you have to do, particularly when your hair is on the line, as it is in this match. And a hot night in Bayamon, and it's going to get hotter if
Hot
you
night
don't
in
start
Bayamon.
seeing things our way, Hugo.
Oh, my goodness. Boy, I'm starting to feel a lot of heat in here.
There, see,
Serious heat.
he finally kicked out, and there's a side headlock, another legal tag.
Actually, I'm sweating.
Oh, I'm sorry,
well,
Rush
actually, I'm
Limbaugh.
surprised they made a legal tag. There's a punch. See a punch. The referee's not doing anything about that. He's letting them get away with everything.
Okay, good move by Miguelito. Side headlock. He shoots him to the ropes. Oh, what a move here. He blocks them, and a couple of good hits by Miguelito.
Oh, yes. Drive that gut. Drive that shoulder in.
And look at Jaggers with the shoe baby whip.
Hey, you said anything goes at the begining of the match, Hugo.
Okay,
They were throwing him into the scaffold. So
indeed.
Why not pull shoe baby out and let it get a little damage in?
Whoa.
Oh, there's that big shoulder
Man,
tap.
I miss
like a
Dino
Canadian
Bravo. What a
football.
reliable
We've taken a few of
mid-card
those,
talent.
and I guarantee you see
Explosive.
stars every time. He just explodes that on you. Looks like he's getting him up for a running power slam. Oh,
I just can't believe that a great athlete like Crawford teamed up with Bobby Jaggers.
well, you got two great athletes forming a great tag team.
One and a bully in the corner.
What do you mean a bully? Don't you realize Jaggers played football for Washington
I
State
like that
University? He's
Big
played
old
baseball.
sidewalk slam.
He's done everything, Hugo. He's a heck of an athlete.
Don't you realize that
He has
hit?
never come forward with any proofs on that. Therefore,
Well,
I cannot
Hugo,
say
he
that
told
What a
told me
creep
that
camera
after
guy.
he got finished playing USC,
He told me
in
many things that
That
I'm still checking
O.J.
on.
Simpson's wife came up to him and said, "Bobby Jaggers hit O.J. harder than he ever been hit in his
what a
life."
move.
And as far as I'm concerned, Bobby Jaggers has never told a lie. Whoa!
Waking and bacon, hell yeah.
well,
There was an impressive move right there by Miguelito Perez to get a reversal on Dan
You
Crawford.
got to beat this and
And,
make it through this commentary.
Castillo Jr., what's he doing in
Oh,
the ring?
He has no business being in the ring at all.
They threw Castillo out. They threw Miguelito out, and referee did not see that.
Well, that's because Castillo was in the ring distracting the referee. I mean, these guys are working against each other. You never see the state of the art do something like that, Hugo.
Little bit of confusion here caused by the tactics of the Jayhawks, and Miguelito is hurt.
Yeah, he's probably got a hangnail
This is Goonberries.
there on his big toe, Hugo.
And this could
These
spell
guys can't
some
take
trouble.
much pain.
Are you kidding me?
Goonberries.
These boys are tough. You
Hey,
should know
Hugo,
that.
tough is
You've
sitting
been
right
around here.
beside
Nicole
you
Brown
in the
Simpson.
forms of the sensational Batten twins.
what
And you
he
ought to
s-
know that more than anything else because you
what he
felt it
said.
on the pool.
Oh!
I tell you, that
Oh, my
reverse
goodness.
slam, I tell you, that's
Oh,
about as
that was
devastating a
sick.
move as you're going to see in professional wrestling.
And lucky for Miguelito, Castillo came in.
yeah, he
with a
came in.
kick
Oh,
for
yeah,
a
he came in,
save.
kicked him, and
Okay, gentlemen, let's recall it. You said that everything goes here, so
well, okay.
what's legal, it's legal, right? Oh, what a kick.
That was legal right there. Legal
Okay.
kick to the midsection, and
Oh.
there's Bobby Jaggers dropping a big forearm across the throat of Miguelito Perez. And there's an elbow to the throat of Miguelito Perez. And Bobby Jaggers is doing what he does best, and that's taking total control of a match and using his forms of verification to
Yeah,
win.
sure. He stays
His
in the
forms
corner.
of
He lets the
verifica-
athlete
what are they
Crawford go
talking
in,
about?
take some punishment, and when he finally gets one down, then Jaggers comes in.
Can't we ever
He
just
kicks
watch a
some,
normal wrestling
part of
show
the
on
bodies
here?
of Miguelito Castillo. When he gets tired, he tags out. I mean, I'm not too happy with that strategy because he hasn't shown the wrestling world what kind of shape he's in. Well, needless to say, we're talking about deep condition
Hey,
here.
look at him. He's in perfect shape. I mean, that's a perfectly toned athletic body right there. And I'm not talking about Miguelito Perez either.
There he, you know,
Wow.
Bobby
Yeah,
Jaggers
Miguel
and Dan
Perez,
Crawford
he
is
was
a great
one of the
combination,
Boricuas,
Hugo,
right?
because
Good forearm there by
Dan
Jaggers.
Crawford, yeah, he's rocked him with those forearms, and well, there's a double shoulder tackle, and both men went down. But you know, Bobby Jaggers and Dan Crawford have a good tag team because you got Crawford that does all the aerial stuff, and Bobby Jaggers is the brains of the outfit, and that's how they got
He's
where
just
they are.
He's the
Bully.
brains.
Crawford is the athlete, and here we have a double tag here.
Uh-oh, and Castillo Jr.'s in the ring, and it doesn't look like
I didn't mind that line too much because it was like, oh yeah, he does all the high flying, and then Bobby Jaggers, and you're thinking like, oh yeah, he's the power, he's the base, and instead it's like, yeah, he's the brains of the operation.
he's a very happy camper to me, shooting Crawford in the rope. Oh, boy, was that a vicious clothesline right there.
It had all the
Just
power
about
behind
took
it.
his hat off.
Look out, high
Oh,
backdrop.
high backdrop. There's
Here
Jaggers
comes
coming in.
Jaggers.
Hey, he drew
Here
that
comes
forearm
Miguelito
to the-
also.
Well, we got all four men in the ring right now, and it's just
Oh,
well, there's a backdrop.
out goes
over the top
Miguelito.
rope. They'll just stay out there, Miguelito, so Jaggers can
Just
Crawford
stay
can
on
take
out
care
there,
of your
Miguelito.
Mario boy partner. there.
Castillo now in a lot of trouble.
That's it,
As a
boys. That's
double
it,
team
boys.
takes place here by the Jayhawks. Watch out.
Heart
Here
attack.
it comes.
Oh, big bear
Clothesline.
hug.
Oh, they got
This
him.
has got to be it right here. I can't
Make
wait
a
to see
count,
Castillo,
bozo.
Miguelito,
Get out there and
ball
count.
net
Oh, but
referee.
here comes Miguelito.
Hey, where's
Oh,
the referee at?
amazing.
What was he doing over there, Hugo?
last
Counting
second.
stars or something?
He's probably blinded
Oh,
by the
ma-
sheen on
wow,
his
he
head.
just- he
Big
didn't
King
sell
of
that
the
for
Bulls
shit,
referee.
did he?
Oh, he's up
Look
in the middle
out.
rope. Oh, flying body press.
But now Jaggers comes in.
Hey,
Okay,
smart tag team
What a roller
wrestling.
coaster.
One
this is turning
each then
into.
on that.
Yeah, okay, they're even. Well, I'll give them that. And there's
Okay, they're exchanging some blows here, and another
Well, I
move by
tell you,
Castillo over
they're
the
pulling out
top.
all the stops now, right into the mud.
Of course,
right
we
there.
have to specify that the disqualification of the top rope rule was waived for this special challenge, hair versus hair match.
Well, no, anything goes, Hugo, and that means you can throw a guy
Oh,
over
good
the
block,
top rope.
good block.
Good block by
Crawford
Dan
holding on.
Crawford. Castillo trying to
Oh.
suplex him. There, he shook his legs. That's it. Took him off
I'm
balance.
telling
There.
you.
Oh, look at that.
And
See?
it's a tremendous athlete.
Hey, he makes a save right there. If he hadn't done that, those guys would have
good kick
Wow.
by
two
Crawford.
chrome domes. Big spinning kick by Crawford. Oh, there's a small package by
And
Castillo.
Jaggers comes right in.
Come
Hey, I
on,
tell you, these
ref.
guys are pulling
Okay,
out
it's
back and
really
forth,
getting-
back and forth. Something's going to happen here, Hugo.
Oh.
Hey, I'm enjoying this because I know what the
Beautiful
Mario
action.
boys are going to
Beautiful
look
action
like
here.
with the bull-headed
I know. This referee's
Fascist
terrible.
power
He's
slam.
barely
Here comes
alive.
Jaggers had to save it right there because that's not too many people
Yeah,
get
because
up
they
and
were
get
getting
Miguelito
whipped.
Castillo
They were
slam.
getting whipped, and you know it.
Well, all four men
Okay,
once
four
again
men in
back
the
in the ring.
Oh, Crawford drops down. Here he comes. He leaps over him. Oh, he puts the brakes. Hook
Oh,
flash
no,
is
I've never
on.
seen that move
Whoa!
Boy, hey,
Unbelievable.
hey, Randy. He counted. He sure figured out how to count fast that
On
time.
the rope or something. There's no way that could have happened like
Come on,
that.
he had his tights, Hugo. You saw
Oh,
it right there.
wow.
What?
He definitely
no
didn't
way,
hesitate.
No way.
Stop it.
No way.
Okay, we have TNT. We have.
And what are these two clowns doing in the ring? TNT
Time for a
time
is a
time for
reject
haircuts,
from
right?
a Hari Kari movie or a
We-
Kung Fu movie. He should be
A
on
Harry
the
Carey
enjoy-
movie.
feature on Channel 13.
We are going to enjoy the sight of seeing the Jayhawks.
Hey, this
Get
is
their
a
hair.
travesty right here, Hugo Savinovich, because they held the man's tights for the 1, 2, 3. The Barrio boys should be the ones getting that chrome dome.
Yeah, you got to remember, Brad, that this match is a hot night in Bayamon, and Bayamon is in Puerto Rico, and they're going to make sure that they won the match regardless of what it took.
Well,
Right,
you
Hugo?
know you're wrong.
Right, Hugo? No,
you know you're wrong.
right.
Should,
We saw it. The fans, hey, they
hair
got the
versus
VHS.
back
They
hair
can play it
match.
back as many times as they want it, and they're going to see what really happened.
Oh, no.
They
The
were
tights were
shocked.
pulled.
I'm telling you what, Crawford and Jaggers never saw it coming, and they were surprised. And that win came, and it was a tremendous win for Miguelito and Castillo. And those are the results there, as Crawford and Jaggers are losing their
He
hair.
was down
we're
and just
finding out
immediately-
some surprises here. Their roots are black.
Well,
Their roots are black here,
They are
gentlemen.
fake blonde. They are fake
no
blonde.
comment on that,
No
Hugo. All
comment.
I've
Who
got
would've
to
thought?
say
It
is
started with blonde, shiny hair, and when it gets down to that, we see some black roots here.
Oh my! Like you
Well,
couldn't
you know,
see
there's
those the
something
whole
that's going
time.
wrong
Come
here.
on,
well,
come on.
obviously,
Hugo.
okay, let's just tell the people they bleached their hair, Hugo, okay? They bleached their hair, and that's why the roots are black. And
Bleached
obviously,
hair
it's going
in
to show up when
wrestling?
they get their
Oh
hair
my
cut off. But
gosh,
as
the
far
scandal
as the
of it all.
sensational Batten twins are concerned, it was a tremendous miscarriage of justice, and I can't wait till we get the Barrio boys in the ring because we're going to prove to them what tag team wrestling's all about, right,
Oh,
Brad?
boy.
That's right, Bart. Not only them, we're going to prove to everybody on this rock and everybody in the whole world that the sensational Batten twins, a crazy trade of professional wrestling,
Bethadone I just got a notification that Bethadone posted a new video answering questions from Trigger Man. Oh boy.
are what it is in tag team wrestling today. We are the epitome of tag team wrestling.
This
Well,
is
a lot of modesty on your part, gentlemen.
Hey, Hugo, we just call spade a spade, you know?
Whoa.
Rootgate.
I know
Meanwhile
our-
in the ring, we are watching Jaggers crying.
Now,
Okay.
you know who
Big
did
cry,
this?
baby.
You know who did that whole thing right was Eric Bischoff. Remember when he got his hair cut? And he had always had that jet black hair, and then when they shaved his head, you could see that he actually had gray hair. That was a payoff. That was a great moment.
You know, these people at home, if you got a chance, you fat
Well, I
beer
like
belly
his hair
guys,
now.
go
It's
ahead and
kinda like a
go up and
leopard
get you a
look.
beer. 'cause
Oh,
you
wait
don't
a
need
minute.
to
Wait
see
a minute.
this.
Now you're looking
You
at
don't
my
need to
belly.
see this.
Now you're looking at my belly. I think now you're getting personal because
no, I'm not
I don't have
talking-
time to work
I'm talking
out.
about beer,
I
Hugo.
produce.
I don't have
I'm not
time
talking
to
about
work out.
Progress for
Sark,
Capital
Perrier, and a
Sports.
twist of lemon.
Well, you should not be looking at. Okay, I do have a belly, but it's I'm a busy man. I don't get that much sleep either. It's tough.
We know
Okay,
that's a fact.
We have the Jayhawks crying. It's all over for them as the Hot Night in Bayamon came in to a sad ending for them. And the final results,
Miscarriage of justice.
Castillo and Miguelito, the winners. They're not through. They want to get some more.
They look at the Barrio boys. They have already won the match. They've cut the guy's hair, so now they want to go out and try to beat them some
face
more.
on that Jaggers.
Well,
I like
boy,
these
is he
military
ugly.
face only
police
a
at
mother could love,
ringside.
Ugo. What can you say?
Boy, he's a little bit more ugly than Rick St. James, that Jaggers.
Well, we won't make any comments there.
Okay, fans, the action continues, and it's getting hotter because we are going to be taking you into the big main event.
Oh,
the
shit, here we
fire
go.
match.
Woo.
And it gets hotter. Okay, it's main event time as the fire match.
Uh-oh, it's time for the main event. I'm so hyped.
It features Hercules Ayala against Carlos Colon.
That's right, Ugo. Let me just go
The
ahead and
best
introduce
hair.
this match. That's right, it's a fire match. Hercules Ayala against Carlos Colon, a fire match.
Fire
A hot night
match.
in Bayamon. And you know, you people out there, you're not going to be able to smell the burning flesh. You're not going to be able to smell the singed hair. I know you're tired of Ugo Savanovic contaminating your mind. You had nothing to say. We got everything to say. A hot night in Bayamon, baby. Fire match. Hercules Ayala against Carlos Colon. You people out there have never seen anything like it before, have they, Brad?
That's exactly right, Bart. So all you fat, beer-bellied truck drivers and rednecks out there, you sit back. Get out of here,
drivers and
Ugo. I got the
rednecks.
microphone now. Sit back in your chair, pop the top on that beer, and try to keep your buck-toothed wife under control from the sight and sound of sensational Batten twins, and sit back and see something you've never seen before, and that's a fire match brought to you by E&J Productions.
That's right. So you
Oh,
rednecks
my
out there,
God.
get ready for the match of your life because you're never going to see anything else like this. Only the World Wrestling Council and the Capital Sports
Jesus
Promotion
Christ.
and E&G Productions bring you a fire match like this, and only those people there involved can give you the commentary of the sensational Batten twins.
You
Just
tell him,
ignore
Bart.
this guy back here
He
because he
means
doesn't know
nothing.
what's going on. Just sit
Stars
back
of the
and
show
listen
right
to
here,
sensational
baby.
Batten twins. Shut up, Ugo. Listen to the sensational Batten twins because we'll never steer you wrong. We'll never steer you wrong. We're going to make sure that this is a hot night. And if you can't interrupt us like
Here we go, the main event of Anniversary 88.
They cut him off just like Kevin cut off Hormax, or it was just like, okay, that's enough.
A hot night in Bayamon.
Oh,
and
shit, here
how
we
much
go.
hotter can
Oh,
you
my
get than
God,
a
I
fire
can't wait
match,
for
Brett?
this.
You can't get any harder than that, Bart. And it just goes to show what we were talking about earlier in the tape, that down here in the World Wrestling Council, you have your barbed wire matches and your cage matches, and now for the first time, or maybe not the first time, but the only place in the world it's going to happen is a fire match.
And let's describe to the fans right now the origin of this match and the inventor. And will you believe it that it was a guy named El Vikingo?
Well, it could only take somebody with his kind of mentality
From
to come
Central
up
America.
with. Well, with it, like I said, Ugo, only somebody with his kind of mentality could come
Dope
up with
dealers from Miami
a
Vice.
situation like this, a
Yeah.
match like this. Ricky
Or like
Vargas in the
thugs
ring,
for a
and just
drug
look at that
dealer.
fire burning around these guys. I've got to give credit
Mini
to
bosses.
Carlos Colon, even though I hate to do that, and credit to Hercules Ayala. It takes a lot of guts to get into a ring that's surrounded
my
by
Lord.
fire like
Oh,
that.
Oh, very
man.
generous on your part.
Oh, I mean, look at that.
Burnt
that
the
fire has
crotch.
to burn every time you hit those
And
ropes.
what about the temperature inside there?
Oh, yeah, it was it was a hot night in Bayamon that night
It's
anyway.
upward of
September the 10th,
7,000
but when you
degrees
add the
inside the ring right now.
temperature from that fire that's going around that ring, I mean, I tell you, it's just like being in an inferno.
And both men.
If I was on commentary, I would just keep raising the temperature that it was inside the ring constantly. Just keep making it more and more astronomical.
Hating each other, and
What's up, Get Cracked?
and we're ready for this battle.
Well, you know, the
Spark a
situation
bee,
that set
that'd be
this match
awesome.
up, Ugo, just to inform
This
the people a little
mid-match,
bit.
Don
was,
Morocco.
yeah, it was. It was. There was an award
World
ceremony.
Wrestling Council Awards.
Yeah, World Wrestling Council award ceremony, and Carlos Colon got an award that Hercules
Best wrestler
of the year. And Hercules Ayala felt that he should have got that award, and Carlos brought his wife up, a very emotional scene, and Hercules
He's like, brother, that award that you won, that should have been mine. We're going to have a match where the entire ring is lit on fire over this.
Ayala came up and actually knocked Carlos down, and he slapped her. And I mean, anytime you slap somebody's wife, then you just ask them
See,
for trouble.
here's where you're wrong, because there was never a slap. She was pushed down to the floor, but there was no slap there.
Well,
You saw what you saw, and I saw what I saw. But regardless, he laid his hands on Carlos's wife, and you just don't do that.
Okay, getting back into this fire match.
Hey, what's up,
Hercules
Ananje?
Ayala.
The action's getting hotter and hotter, Ugo.
He's got something in his hands right now.
I'll tell you.
Probably his fist, Ugo. I didn't see anything else.
Looks like a can or something.
Well,
Looks
once
like a
again, you
can.
got the...
You can't say a beer can. It's a soda can.
Hey, I wasn't going to say anything, Ugo. I was just going to say that every now and then these people down here in Puerto Rico get a little carried away and throw anything they can get their hands on into the ring.
We have improved 80% on that situation. You know, tempers get a little bit carried away sometimes.
Yeah, this is nuts.
Oh,
no. Oh, my
gosh. I tell you
gosh.
what, Ugo, this is, the people out there have never seen anything like this, and this is the first time I've actually seen the match. And what's to say that his whole head of hair just won't go up in flames, you know?
Yes, they do have fire extinguishers on the outside in case the wrestler gives up or surrenders. They bring in the fire extinguishers in.
Well, I tell you, I'm just really
new Yogi
overwhelmed
Bear
by this
show.
particular
I
situation.
think this was
like I told you,
after.
I've never seen a match like this.
Somebody
and
said
I know
earlier it was
I would
after.
never personally step into a ring surrounded by fire because I have too much concern for my bodily health.
Okay, Hercules Ayala showing off his strength as he is dominating all over Carlos Colon, and we have pointed out a
big
hot
right
rivalry
hand.
going on here. It's more than just a match, more than the fire, the desire to destroy each other.
Well, you know, Carlos Colon's given up a lot of height and weight and strength here, but just you know, he's got
Boom.
desire.
We're getting
He's
into
so
it.
motivated. He's so fired up that it doesn't make any difference to him what kind of match this would have been. I think if he'd have saw Hercules out on the street,
There's a patented Puerto Rican low blow there, Ugo.
Yes, it was indeed the trademark of Carlos Colon. He does have that down to where he's fast.
Well, personally, Ugo, I don't think that's an admirable trait. I don't know how you feel.
Yeah, we're
about it.
finally to the main event.
I'm the one that's I've been asking a lot of the World Wrestling Council officials that they should have more fines.
Paro's
You're gonna
still
ask
on
Gilbert
Amanda
Kingo
Hug
to
and
go out
Kiss.
there and
No,
impose a
not
fine.
him.
Right.
I was referring like to the commissioner, Eddie T.
Russell
Joseph, to the vice president, Joe Pedicino, because I do believe that we should be a little bit more looking into this violation.
I tell you, did you see that Carlos Colon just jamming that fire right in the face of Hercules Ayala? And
Yeah.
I guess if you got a score to settle with something.
I had the little Remco Carlos Colon back in the day, and he was like a big time jobber to my LJNs.
This is the kind of match you want to do. He's already busted Hercules' head wide open with punches and headbutts, and Carlos Colon does have a hard hit.
Okay, check this out. Ayala, a bloody match right now, and he's getting burnt.
I tell you, there's
with
old
the fire.
Fast Eddie down there trying to get his pictures. Fast Eddie has always been known to be around any kind of hot situation, Ugo.
Yes,
You
he
smoked a
does.
joint
And we
with
definitely
Hercules
had a hot
Ayala's nephew. That's
situation.
awesome.
Anniversary 88 in
It
Bayamon.
was a hot night in Bayamon, and this is what the people came to see, the main event.
Big main event.
Tell you, I don't think that people have been disappointed at all, and I know the people at home watching this tape aren't disappointed at all because they're not going to see a match like this on any other tape. The only way they're going to see it is E&G Productions, World Wrestling Council
They're going to have
promotion.
to wrap this up. All the
This
fire's
tape here,
going out.
Fire match, hot night in Bayamon. I mean, you're not going
It's
to see
hot.
it anywhere. It is hot.
It is hot.
Oh, good move by Ayala right there. Using his smarts. Carlos Colon's a smart man, but Hercules outsmarted him, Ugo.
Well, he's got that.
That is the name of the game. To outsmart your opponent, go for the win, and in this case, more than a win. We're talking about destruction here. That could leave some awful marks on their bodies with that fire so close around them.
There's Hercules Ayala going. Oh, I know that had to burn his arm right there, Ugo. Hercules Ayala kicking after the leg.
I think that was the
Carlos
only
Colon trying to
Remco I
weaken
had,
that
but I
knee
can't
because
remember.
Carlos Colon's
I think I got
best
it at
move,
like a
probably the
garage
best
sale
figure four leg
when I
lock
was
in
a
the
kid.
sport of professional wrestling. But Hercules Ayala doesn't have a bad one.
Yeah, he
either.
has the inverted.
Yes, he has the
figure four.
inverted figure four leg lock, and he's trying to weaken Carlos's leg right here so he can maybe strap that figure four on him and end the match. There he is, just
And at this time, the whole Coliseum, Ruben Rodriguez, and the Lubriel Stadium next door, when they were watching it in the big screen, it was a madhouse. The people were just insane, as they could not believe all that fire and all the intensity of the both wrestlers in the ring.
Well, you can see in the background there, they're standing on their feet. They're excited. They've never seen a match like this. I don't know too many people have seen a match like this.
I haven't seen too much Stampede besides the stuff on
a great block there by Carlos, because Hercules tried to get him in that inverted figure four leg lock, and Carlos just happened to almost cradle him out.
Oh, look out.
Oh, look at how close that flame is.
Right to his arm.
I tell you, it's...
To its face now.
I believe he's got a little inflammation there in his arm.
Yes.
A little inflammation.
I tell you, look at that.
He's putting his hair right on
I tell you, there's no love lost, obviously, between these two wrestlers.
That is right. Carlos attempting to fight back here. And Big Hercules all over Carlos Colon. No title involved.
Man, he really likes that kid.
For this match has stripped Hercules
of
the
like
Universal Championship, but it was honor and pride and a lot of guts involved to get even in the part of Carlos and Ayala to destroy Carlos Colon.
Oh, I tell you, there it is. He's finally got that figure.
Oh, reversal
Carlos
here.
Just turned it right back over and reversed it on him. I tell you, this could be it right here.
Are we talking about some heavy artillery here in the part of Colon, as he almost had him?
Well, Ayala's smart. He went right to the ropes, grabbed the rope, so he has to break the figure four hold.
Picks him up.
Oh, I tell you, that knee drop right there.
Oh man, imagine getting high with Hercules Hernandez.
Credit. He's strong. He's tough.
Pretty epic.
He's maybe the best that there is.
He's got the know-how.
But
he's been there before.
Yeah, but I have a feeling one of these days he's going to meet with the sensational Batten twins, and we're going to show him exactly how great we are.
Boy, aren't we looking for some trouble with everybody tonight?
Well, Hugo, sometimes you just got to call them as you see them.
Some people like to live dangerously, and I'll see it's going to be some tough outings for you guys in the future.
Well, I tell you what, I would look forward to getting in the ring with Carlos Colon, because when you get in the ring with a wrestler of his caliber who's wrestled all the top guys in the world.
Okay, let's get back to the action here as Ayala is screaming in pain, holding on from the hands of the referee. He's ready to give up here, but he's fighting it hard.
Ricky Vargas Benitez is asking Hercules if he wants to give up. I'm telling you, there's too much pride on the line here. He's not going to give up unless he gets knocked out or more seriously injured. These two guys are going to go at it.
Referee is very concerned. Ayala's not giving up, but at this particular moment, it looks like it's going to be all over for Ayala.
I tell you,
he cannot stand the pain any longer.
Knee joint can't take that.
Okay, and it's all over.
There it is, right there.
It's all
this
over.
was the end of the hot night in Bayamon. But it wasn't quite over yet, because Carlos Colon wanted to put more pain, more destruction on the man that had really offended his wife and his people. And Ayala, in a lot of pain, it was officially all over, but Carlos wanted more.
What a card.
Carlos, you can't really blame a guy for doing this, because, like you said, Puerto Ricans have a lot of pride. Family is very important to them, and he feels like he didn't get quite enough punishment in. He's just going to get a little bit more.
Okay, win was not enough. It's all over. The referee now, he wants the referee out of the picture. He wants to do more damage on Hercules Ayala. The main event
Terry Funk is like my favorite.
Down to a close, and the fire extinguishers were brought in.
I'm a big Hogan mark, but Terry Funk is like my favorite wrestler, I think.
And there was a
I think he's like the best overall.
And he was all over for him, but Carlos.
There he is, going after him again, Hugo. I realize there's a lot of pride and slap the man's wife around, but
this is uncalled for.
There's a time where you got to stop it. The match is over. He won the match. I mean, what else does he want to do? He beat the guy.
He wanted to break both legs on Ayala. That's what he wanted. I had a chance to interview him after this particular match, and believe me, the intentions on Ayala were the same. Unfortunately for him, Carlos Colon secured a figure four leg lock. There was no escape for Ayala. And big anniversary came hard to an ending on Ayala. A bloody mess, defeated by Carlos Colon.
I got to see him wrestle, but by the time I got to see him wrestle, he was, pretty old by that point. I did see him on a Monday Night Raw. He wrestled Mark Henry but I did not have good seats for that show, unfortunately. But I did kind of get to, at least I got to see him live during his like last big run.
Well, fortunately for me, we have come to an ending of this hot night in Valiant, and I think it was hotter in here, and I hope you buy a lot more tapes from Eddie Grice, but I think I'm going to wind up in the hospital. What did you guys think about the hair versus hair match, Miguel and Castillo against the Jayhawks?
The Barrio boys lucked out again, but you know, it doesn't make any difference because I know we're going to meet them down the line. They're going to run into the state-of-the-art of tag team wrestling, whether you like it, whether the people out there like it. There's one thing you can always count on. Anytime you see E&G Productions, World Wrestling Council, Capital Sports Promotion, you're seeing the best in professional wrestling. You're seeing the stars right here. In this case, it's the sensational Batten Twins, and there's nothing else there is to be said about.
Oh. We're not going to watch this next clip. It's Vinny Slugga, though. He's making a call to his girlfriend. I want to see if we can find...
Yeah, there's something wrong with
I want to see if I can find David Flair in Puerto Rico. There we go. I'm working on the Vinny Slugga episode.